Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 174. It's Saturday, and we're kind of kicking it old school, a little bit. Because it's a Saturday late morning, like we used to do it, sort of sleep in Saturday morning, tinker with our notes while I drink coffee.
The old routine.
Whatever you do, and then all we're missing is Booster Juice right now.
Pretty much.
We were saying Booster Juice, if you had drive-through, we would have hit it right now.
They should take KFCs because they don't.
Yeah.
Although that's probably their only business, so maybe not.
It is. Yeah, the KFC is pretty much attached to Booster Juice, and KFC is drive-through only a lot for some reason.
Most of the time, yeah.
Can't get employees or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's kind of nice to do the Saturday afternoon because you were saying we're now aware of what happened in Rampage and SmackDown.
Well, in Collision because they did it Friday.
That's right.
We got Full Gear tonight.
So we got some additions from those programs. I even watched some Raw highlights. Was not super impressed, just so that I have some context of what's going on.
It let you down, really?
Because I don't know what's going on in that company generally, so I'm trying to sort of catch up to a little bit of that. Nothing. I told you what I saw: 3 basically roll-up victories on one show.
One per hour. Duh.
I think it was Miz put his feet up on whoever he was wrestling. I already forget.
Because he's facing Gunther at the show next week.
And then there was 2 other ones. One was Tegan Knox. Hers wasn't a distraction, I don't think, though. And then there was another one in the middle that was a distraction roll-up. Just like so afraid to have somebody lose and somebody win clean. It seems maybe that's just a snapshot, and I got a random thing, but I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's like usually a regular thing for them.
I think that's what I think. But
yeah, I don't know.
It's their only way to like protect people is they can't legitimately lose.
Yeah, but then it makes other people look stupid. It's like
it just creates an environment where nothing really matters, right?
No, not really.
Which is I know we sound like
phenomenal,
we hate WWE.
I mean, kinda.
We don't like it, but it's not that we don't want to like it. Love to like it.
Yeah, I still hate it.
If it were like-worthy, but...
Yeah, and it's typically not.
So we've got a pay-per-view coming tonight. What is it? Full Gear?
Full Gear. Which was, might I add, looking back, was our favorite show last year.
Was it? Oh, because you're prepping the documents for best of our stuff.
So last year, this was our favorite show. That was MJF winning the title, Perry and Luchasaurus in a cage.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I have... because that was that was when the Elite came back and they had the first Death Triangle match. There was that ROH 4 with Jericho, Claudio, and Sammy Guevara and Danielson. But yeah, it was a good show last year. So this one looks pretty promising, actually. So
it does. Like, say what you will, I've been a little frustrated with AEW TV lately, but the pay-per-views pretty much always, has there been one I haven't liked? I don't think so. There's some I've liked less than others.
Not in a long time, at least.
Like, I don't mind paying for them, which we still have to figure out how I'm paying with our new cable TV setup that is still
we're
frustrating.
Free today, so we have to figure it out because we may or may not have not done that the last couple times. So
and the network can't you really use it, as I've complained about many a time. So
that's next week's problem.
But our school board hacking situation got sorted out. Looks like yesterday. Yeah. So the program that all teachers use to do grading and attendance and communication home and report cards was
necessary
compromised apparently, and you didn't have anything for like almost a week, right? So everything went back to some things went back to doing it on paper that are normally like attendance and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting situation, but apparently rectified. You can get into that program now and do all those things. So that was the excitement. You went out and played some more badminton last night, sorry?
Yep.
And I did not get together with anyone because the Maple Leafs, not that I'm a Leaf fan, but everyone I go watch games with they played in Sweden and played early, so there was no Friday night game.
Sweden, that's so weird.
So hence me not down in a garage down the street last night. But
no garages.
Yep, just trying to get through to the Christmas break, right, I guess?
Yeah.
At this point.
Surviving until...
Weather here is nice in Southern Ontario, considering it's late November.
Considering the time of year, yeah, we're doing
November.
All right.
It's been above 0 and nice, so... I don't know. Your brother's basketball league is kicking off soon, so I'll be busy on weekends, including next weekend. He plays far away. I was telling you.
I think I work next Friday and Saturday, so that's iffy.
Works out for you. You'll have the place to yourself, I guess. I
guess so, yeah.
But if you're working. But anyways, anything else new to banter?
I don't think so. I mean,
We live a pretty mundane existence, I would say.
I'll maybe get on the G1 soon, but...
Oh, and I think there's...
I got that app, but I don't understand how it works.
Do you work tomorrow?
Yes.
What time?
In the morning.
I'm pretty sure... Is it tonight or tomorrow? There might be Remember there's a GCW show coming close to us in Aurora? I feel like that's tomorrow, maybe. Anyways, no? Oh, it's next weekend, I think.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'll look into it. It's not interesting to anybody else, but maybe we switch gears into something that might be interesting to somebody else. Anything that's not, there's timestamps. They can just jump around to what they like. But anyways, we'll start out with our first thing every week, and that is taking a look at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. Okay, so the first thing we always look at is the ratings from a couple shows this week, and NXT averaged 703,000 viewers, up 11.5%, and earned a 0.21 in the key demographic, down 19.2. Sorry, it was down 11.5, not up, because they were at like 790 something last week. They were pretty close to AEW, right? So it was down 11.5%. So that is the second lowest in both of those categories since September 26th. So again, not one of the more meaningful comparisons from a couple months ago. We're back to that.
Back to the stupid ones.
Yeah, September 26th. And they were up against NBA games, obviously. And then Dynamite averaged 823,000 viewers, up a meager 2.4%, earned a 0.28 in the demographic, up 3.7. Second highest audience total the show has done since the start of the NBA season in October. So not super meaningful one there either. I don't have much news. I think I have like 3 things, and
I got decent news.
So go. You go first then.
The first one was something from Collision last week, because we didn't cover it, obviously, was AEW's announcement of the Continental Classic Tournament, which is a 12-man round-robin tournament to culminate at World's End. Danielson was confirmed as the first participant, and then recently Andrade was also confirmed for that.
2 of my favorite wrestlers, and I love tournaments, so a good start.
Like a mini G1. I think there's 2 blocks, so I would assume 6 in each.
I believe that is what they're doing, kind of like there's a pool play and then a crossover playoff sort of setup. So I'm excited for that a little bit, right?
That'll be interesting TV, and that'll be something to look forward to. Like, we like to have something constant, like trios or Orange Cassidy.
And it just adds instant stakes to every match, right? You don't really need a lot of story outside of that. You can just be like, they're in a tournament and they both want to win, and away you go. It's convenient. We've got a departure from Impact Wrestling. Fightful Selects reporting that Kenny King has asked for and was granted his release from the company this week. What do you think he thinks he's going to go do now?
I have no idea.
Like, I'm not saying he's not talented. I actually really liked the most recent work he was doing on Impact. He just never really got on often, but I don't know. Like,
well, without Honor No More, what are you going to do?
I know it, but is he going to catch on somewhere else, do you think? I don't know.
I can't imagine.
He's turning down guaranteed checks to go. I guess maybe he might know already, right? Maybe he's sort of talked to people.
Or maybe he'll just go indies.
I guess.
I don't know.
But again, I don't know how.
No, I don't think he's like, maybe he'll pop up in ROH, but I don't see him going like anywhere big.
I guess, yeah, but they don't really need anybody else. That's where he obviously has a lot of history, but
yeah.
Anyways, so long, Kenny King. I enjoyed your work most recently, but wherever you end up.
Continuing the big star train, Tony Khan tweeted that one of the world's best wrestlers is coming Full Gear to sign an AEW contract.
So cut to speculation, rampant speculation.
I immediately saw someone say Ospreay, and I was just, that's the dream.
Ospreay, I've heard. I'm sort of mentioned Ziggler, and then turns out other people are thinking that maybe
I'm scared
too.
of Ziggler.
Also heard Monet, which I don't know.
I don't think so, because she's not cleared to she's going to return to wrestling, I think, next year. She's not cleared yet, so I think that would be kind of like Ziggler. It wouldn't be a immediate thing that they can capitalize on. Plus, Ospreay could go into the Continental Classic.
Ospreay's technically still under contract, though.
Yeah, I know, which is weird.
Until like early 2024.
I think February.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work. But they do have a working relationship with New Japan. They do.
So who knows?
I don't know.
But I'm hoping, because we've talked about Tony Khan's giant announcements are hit and miss, right? So Ospreay would be a big hit for me. Ziggler would be a bit of a miss. Like, if that's the scales, even though I don't mind Ziggler.
I like Ziggler, but
there were times I loved Ziggler, but
I still think he should be in WWE, and I don't think I'd want him in AEW either, because
and he's just not a peak guy. Like, yes, he's still good in the ring and whatever, but he's not.
He would probably fall into the same spot he was in with WWE, and I don't think that's really anything groundbreaking.
And a tag team with his brother doesn't.
That's also a possibility that
they seem to love the brother tag teams.
Yeah, so.
Well, they could have a whole tournament with I feel like with brother tag teams.
I guess they could do at least like.
All right, here's where Jack starts thinking about all the brother tag
Bucks,
teams. Go.
Guns, Hardys, Nemeths. That's not fun
Seidels?
to say. Mike Seidel is gone.
Oh, is he?
Bollywood Boys, I guess, if they wanted to bring them back.
Yeah, they just wrestled.
They
like
just
last
wrestled.
week.
We're
at 5.
There's one. We need like at least like an even number. There's got to be like one more. I'm missing one.
There has to be somebody else.
Because didn't the Guns have beef with somebody else? Who am I missing? There's got to be.
Oh, Top Flight.
Top Flight. Okay, that's 6. You could do like at least some sort
I
of
got there
round
first. I'm
thing
so
there.
proud of myself right
Well,
now.
because Darius Martin's been gone for like.
It's true.
No,
one of them,
not Darius. Dante. It's Dante this
one
time.
or the other's been gone.
It's Dante this
non-stop.
time. That's my bad. I think there's at least like 6 there, which is
enough. We know we've seen
which
tournaments.
Is a lot. They've done
with
tournaments
fewer,
with far less, and by far less I mean 4.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully not. And it's got to be Ospreay. Like
I think so.
I feel like because like Tony Khan has not exactly been on the pulse of some of his announcements lately. So if it's someone like Ziggler, then
especially like, hey, you can buy tickets for an event.
That's what I mean. Like, stuff like that is.
So let's hope.
Not sufficient.
Yes. Is it your turn or my turn?
Your turn.
So I will start by saying Billy Corgan is refuting these claims, but you know how I like to pile on to NWA for some reason?
I don't
even know why, but I do.
Every time I see their match cards, I'm like, NWA sucks.
So House of Wrestling, I don't know how reliable that is. But anyways.
I've seen stuff from them before, I think.
They're reporting roster cuts are likely to take place following the company's TV tapings in January. And that production cuts, oh no, I don't feel like they can afford to cut much production, at least
they can, no.
That affects their presentation.
No.
And other cost-saving measures are expected soon as well, said to be the result of Billy Corgan, the owner, obviously, having bankrolled the promotion for years without much sponsorship money coming in and just like it's not sustainable sort of thing.
NWA is not sustainable? Who would have thought?
And so what was it? He spent millions on Power as well as whatever reality series member they apparently got.
How much money does he have and from what? Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, they were super mega huge band for a while there.
I guess.
And so cuts are needed for the company to continue operating on its current level, apparently. So who knows? Billy Corgan says, heck no, none of that's true. We're fine. But these reports are no, you're not. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not really trusting him.
No.
And also, I don't care.
No, their product, I try and check in every now and then, but
it looks so mediocre.
Nothing keeps me. I started to watch Rampage. I did another too late to start watching it because I fell asleep. Not Rampage's fault, but it was Sakura and Tony Storm is where I.
And then I think on Rampage they had Trent and
they did
Christian.
That was Trent, the opener.
Yeah, Trent won a collision match to get a shot later in the night.
So I dozed off in that one, woke up for some of Tony Storm, Emi Sakura, and then fell asleep in that as well. Again, not their fault. It was like 1 in the morning or something.
Rampage.
Yeah.
Following Dynamite, Kota Ibushi is finally all elite officially because he debuted at Blood and Guts and he's had like some matches here and there, but there was never the confirmed signing, I guess.
Yeah, and it's awesome signing. We're still waiting for full power of Ibushi to show up because he's been involved in a lot of multi-man stuff, right? Where
pretty much only and
hasn't stood out really in anything. Even the match we're going to discuss this week, I don't think he stood out. Maybe looked a little better, but still wasn't. I don't think he's in his peak form yet.
No, it's weird. I don't know why, but
because when he is, then he's a standout. So
yeah,
good signing.
Just waiting for that, yeah, but that's good. That means he'll be sticking around at least.
It seems like AEW isn't the type of company to just cut people. It's kind of like they wait till your contract runs out and re-signs you. So I feel like they need a bunch of people's contracts to run out soon because.
Yeah, or they need to make some cuts. I feel like they can afford to do that because it's not like they don't have.
But I think he's the company that doesn't want to do that.
I do respect that in a way,
right?
And
we signed you, so we'll keep you until your contract.
I do like that because WWE does the exact opposite.
Correct.
So from that perspective, I do enjoy that about Tony Khan. But I feel like at some point you got to cut a few people. I mean, unless you're CM Punk, obviously he's an exception to this rule. But I don't know. I feel like he could cut a few people if he had to.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if he doesn't feel he has to, I guess there's that.
But it's just people are gonna continue to be unhappy, I think, because there's no way you can get all of these people meaningful time on
even with the extra shows.
Right. The only other thing I had was sort of storyline show stuff, and that was that MJF agrees to team with Samoa Joe, right, for the at Full Gear
for the pre-show
on 0 Hour, yes, to defend the title. So, I feel like that means, like you're saying, MJF and it's on the pre-show, right? They're not doing a title change, I don't think, on the pre-show. I would be surprised.
Well, they literally did that at all in. So
True,
you
you're
can't
right.
you can't even say that. And
there
it
is
was these
precedent.
exact titles, so you can't even say that now.
And we're getting Eddie Kingston, Jay Lethal,
Yep.
right?
Also on pre-show. All on the preview, my friend.
Those are. I mean, that's a way to get me to watch it.
I will watch it for Joe and MJF. I
Right.
mean, Kingston, Lethal, no offense, I don't really care because it doesn't feel like a marquee thing to
Could
me.
be really good, though.
They'll get my view on the side from the tag title match.
Yep. And that's all I have, so it's all you now.
MJF's going to change ring gear again.
I'm going to mute and eat the rest of my apple while you wrap up yours.
WWE going international once more. We saw the announcement of Bash in Berlin for Germany a little while ago. Also Elimination Chambers in Perth, Australia. And I don't like it because they got the Elimination Chamber logo is the same one from this year in Montreal, but it's got Elimination Chamber and this is Perth underneath, which is annoying because that just looks stupid. It's like when SummerSlam had the Detroit in the logo. It's just it looks dumb.
Do you know when I'm not quizzing you, but do you know when they've been in Australia? Feels like it's been a while.
The last time I think they was Super Showdown 2018. That was the one where
that's right.
Triple H and Taker main evented and Buddy Murphy won the Cruiserweight title.
Amazing.
That was kind of in the era when the Saudi shows were new, and that one kind of felt like a Saudi show, but it was in Australia, and they started doing Super Showdown as a Saudi show. But anyways, that's the last time I think they were in Australia, because I can't imagine they were in 2019, and I don't think they were in the pandemic or since. So I think this is the first time since then. But anyways, back to the point. Backlash 2024 per the rumors, is going to be in France, May 4th, 2024. So that's
Star Wars Day. Yeah, got it. I was chewing. Give me a break.
I know. And that one has France in the logo, which is annoying because it's it didn't say Puerto Rico in the logo this year. I don't know. It's just weird
so
when it's just, I don't know. I'd like because the SummerSlam logo this year was Detroit inspired, clearly, but it's too on the nose if you put it in there, you know what I mean? I would like if the logo's inspired by wherever it is, because usually with WrestleMania,
that's cool.
They do that, it's always inspired by wherever they are. And I think that's fine if you want to do it something like that, like the Montreal Chamber. But then I think putting the place in the logo is just too it's not appealing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like when the Takeover logo started putting 2019 and
it lacks subtlety.
It lacks subtlety and also kind of dates it. It's
yeah,
because then you can't reuse the logo, and it's just I don't know. It's weird. But Backlash in France, because WWE are ever international.
Correct.
And finally, for some reason, just to piss us off, I guess, Ronda Rousey debuted in ROH on the taping the other day. She's still using her theme because Tony Khan loves to license that music, which I do like. And hopefully this is not a permanent thing, because I swear to God, if she starts crapping in AEW, I'm going to be annoyed.
I mean, there's a chance that the way they present her we like better. Because it's not like she's not capable of decent matches, because she had some in her first go-round.
Yeah, but that's so long ago, it's it almost doesn't exist.
But maybe the change in style, I'm trying to find ways, right, to not dislike her.
I think if it was Baszler, then sure, but because Baszler she's definitely picked it up way better than Rousey has.
I definitely don't need her or want her in AEW, but I guess maybe there's a chance they present her in a way that's more appealing. So we'll see.
The division's gonna be all about her, and I'm gonna hate
that. It could be true, which would be frustrating.
Hopefully, this is just a one-off because she was visiting Shafir or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
And then get her.
So it's not like she is all elite. She just was there.
She was just, it was ROH even.
Right.
So which is weirder.
AEW adjacent.
Yeah, but get her away, please.
Yeah, and that's all you had?
Yep.
All right, so we'll transition into our most detailed review every week, and that's taking a look at this past Wednesday night's AEW Dynamite. All right, tell me about some Dynamite. That's your job. I drink coffee, you discuss Dynamite, and I chime in.
Perhaps.
It's a system that works.
We kick off with not our usual pre-intro stuff. There was the intro, and then we also had a recap on the hook of last week's show, I guess, which was the attack on the Acclaimed.
Right. Yes, I'd already forgotten. It's true.
As the computer dings.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Multiple times.
Many times. Then our opening match is Moxley and Wheeler Yuta of Blackpool Combat Club against Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Yes, indeed it is.
Cassidy and Hook meet Blackpool in the crowd, and the brawl begins there. We get a bit of pre-match meandering. There's a nice 4-minute German suplex on Mox from Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Mox always does, like, he always grabs his neck, which I like. It's a nice touch.
Yep.
Cassidy boots Mox in the chest a bunch of times. He goes for a tilt-a-whirl GT. Mox catches him, and Blackpool hit a heart attack. Shades of the Heart Foundation. Hook gets a hot tag and he exchanges forearms with Yuta. He looks for the red rum on Yuta, but Mox comes in with a cutter. Cassidy comes in with an orange punch. Mox just eats it, like just straight up takes it. And
oh yeah, you no sold. Well, no
sell
sold
it.
the song. I get.
Like he just kind of powers through.
Yeah.
Then he boosts Cassidy out of the ring. Hook locks him in the red rum, but Yuta makes a save. Death Rider on Hook, and Yuta pins Hook with the seatbelt, which I don't know, caught me off guard because I think the only time he was pinned was Jack Perry, which is interesting.
And it's still weird to see Hook selling a whole bunch, right?
Yeah,
it's
which
just
was
not
a weird thing
common.
about this match. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mox cuts a quick promo after saying he's going to course correct at Full Gear and grind Cassidy into dust. He says he will be international champion again, and there's nothing Cassidy can do about it.
Yeah, I thought there was a bit of a slow start to this. It was a lot of Blackpool dominating Hook, which, like we were just saying, was not strange, but just like it's not something we've seen a lot, so it's still kind of interesting.
No, we don't see that often.
And then there's like a babyface flurry, and then Blackpool kind of dominate Orange Cassidy after that. So I thought it was a good tag team match. Blackpool looked pretty dominant through a lot of stretches of this. Maybe a little bit too one-sided to be really, really interesting, but I thought it was a good opening match. And then one thing that did annoy me, I would have really preferred that Moxley and Cassidy not touch ahead of their match at Full Gear. I don't think it helped me at all. I would have much preferred they had a segment or something, or let Mox cut another promo.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a huge fan of Mox no selling the orange punch.
No, that irked me a little bit, but like if they can kind of feed it into the story, then I can kind of allow that.
Yeah.
Like they can work that. It's not. It just kind of irked me. It didn't outright bother me.
And Cassidy's reaction to it was to stand there and like stare at his fist and then get hit with a boot, right? So I don't know.
I like that there's something going in the match where like he's gonna need to pull out something,
Yeah.
right? So I
thought it was
kind of that.
Thought it was good. Could have been better. Didn't love Mox and Cassidy. I would have just waited to have them face each other.
Yeah, solid opener. I don't think it was a banner one, but it was solid. Like I think I agree with you. If it was more neck and neck, it would have been more interesting. But I thought it was pretty solid. It was weird that Hook was on the defense more than usual. Than like, especially when Cassidy's in the match. Not only was Hook the face in peril, but like the other guy's Cassidy, who would be a great face in peril. You know what I mean? So that makes it weird. Not necessarily bad. It's strange, right?
And I know we're gonna preview it later. Do you think this makes it more likely Cassidy retains?
It's something else from overcome
because they lost
it's
here,
more
right?
of an underdog story, right?
Yeah.
So I think perhaps.
Me too.
The finish was well done. I'm surprised Hook took the fall here. Like, I guess we always say with the undefeated streak, like once someone's done it, then it's easier to do it again.
The floodgates
but
are
it's
open.
Still weird because he hasn't lost since that Jack Perry match, and that was a while ago. That was Blood and Guts, which was.
I still hear people saying Jungle Boy is the devil.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
I don't get it either.
That's dumb. We can talk about that later. I don't
know.
Where. Probably, I think. I don't know. It'll come up.
It
right?
may
So
come
we
up
can
again.
discuss
Yeah.
it, but that's just stupid. It's just dumb. Like, at least he has history.
Or we'll discuss it now.
Oh yeah, but just this part of it. It's better than saying it's some debutante because it has to be someone related to MJF, right? So at least Jack Perry kind of. But like that's dumb.
And they're like, well, MJF told him he needs to embrace being whatever.
But he's already done that.
But maybe not.
He's already done that.
I don't know.
If this was Jungle Boy doing it, maybe, but like he's already Jack Perry. He's already.
I'm still hearing
done
it. I also heard some Britt Baker possibly.
That's dumb.
Trying to drive a wedge between Adam and MJF because MJF and Cole are too close. Huh?
No.
Don't hate it.
No.
I don't hate that one.
No, I don't. It's clearly not a woman in there either.
I don't know.
I'll discuss it later. I have my thoughts.
Okay.
Mox only had a few words, but any more he wants to add to the build is welcome. He could have sold the feud just on that.
Yep.
If he really wanted to. Next we get Hangman Swerve's face to face. They're doing the whole, you can't touch or something happens and blah blah and something like that.
Yeah, which I thought Hangman had a smart way out of that.
I really
enjoyed
that, yeah. Hangman called Swerve a fraud, a phony. That's a grade A dumbass. That's dumber today than 2 years ago when he got fired. Which that was.
Yeah, that was
came
good.
In hot.
He did.
He told Swerve he doesn't have it in him. He trashed him for his fiance leaving him, which I didn't know. So that was pretty That was pretty nasty.
Is that a real
I
detail?
feel like it is.
Could be.
That reminded me of that one awesome promo from the Rollins and Riddle feud where Rollins said a similar thing to Riddle, and he
felt real.
It felt real, and the Rollins and Riddle did that, and that was great. So this was awesome too.
And at that point, whether it is or isn't doesn't matter. If it felt real,
right?
Either way, it doesn't matter.
And he says kids won't talk to him. That was a sweet one. Paige said Nana's just using Swerve, and he sells his T-shirts while buying weed from a high school kid in the parking lot. And he said he'll beat Nana's ass too and steal his weed, which was Nana's reaction to that was awesome.
Foreshadow a little too there.
He's so irritated about that. That's true. Paige said Swerve isn't a man at all. He's a child. He told him that he should never come into his house. And he said they don't need lawyers or cops because at Full Gear, Hangman is his judge, jury, and executioner. Shades of the Jey Uso promo on Roman Reigns. He said he'll make Swerve spend time at Swerve's house at the bottom of hell. He said he's not allowed to fight Swerve, but they said nothing about Nana. So then he just goes up and starts beating up Nana, which is really funny. Yes. Security broke it up, and we end with a buckshot lariat on a security guy.
Yeah, it's you actually get like a smart babyface move, right? Which I like because they're so stupid so often that him going, but it doesn't say anything about Nana.
I like how he was taunting Swerve, but
he was savage in this, and I thought he was really good.
I absolutely love this. The routine he has of like doing the vulnerable, unsure of himself, self-conscious kind of cowboy thing, and then when he gets confident, passionate when he's back in the corner, it works so well. They do it most of the time in these bigger feuds, but like it works every time because when he does his character work so well, but then I feel like his promo work kind of gets swept under the rug because of how his character operates, right? But then he comes out with something like this, and it's fantastic. He was going for the throat here. I love when he's fired up. Like he really deserves more credit for some of his promos because I thought this was really good. He had some sick jabs to Swerve here. Like you said, he was savage. I like that the home invasion let him loose because he's like. Last week he went after Swerve just relentlessly. This week he couldn't do it physically. Went after him verbally. I love that he was we loop pulled it with decking Nana, and I like that he was taunting Swerve as he was doing that. I could be annoyed that Swerve said and did nothing here, but it's believable that Hangman's so angry and just like set on revenge that he's not letting Swerve get any word back. He's just gonna go after him the whole time. He was fantastic front and center here. It felt really personal, and when Hangman finds his voice, he really delivers.
Yeah, and I think Swerve's facial expressions are so strong that's good enough.
Yeah, he was good.
And who knows? Like it could be looped back around where Swerve didn't say anything on purpose because he knows that he's getting Paige out of control.
Right, that could work too.
So I liked that choice, even though I love listening to Swerve talk. Like I thought the choice to have him not was fine. At least, I thought Hangman sounded really good here.
Yeah, I thought he was phenomenal. This was really good work from him. I mean, could go on one of my favorite segments. I don't know. Depends on how many other ones.
It was good. I enjoyed it too.
Really good stuff from Hangman. Next we get Roddy and the Kingdom, which was obviously better.
Okay.
We get Call to Cole on the screen. Roddy is sure that the devil is Max. Cole says he has a lot going on. Max is not the devil and says maybe Roddy is the devil with all of the accusations he's throwing out. Roddy gets fired up and insists it's MJF. Cole hangs up. This is solid, keeping the devil shrouded in mystery. Maybe Cole knows it's not MJF because it's him. And I said, we need whatever app Taven and MJF have to project their screen on the TV because it seems way smoother than AirPlay.
Way smoother. It's flawless and seamless.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a short, simple segment to nudge the Who's the Devil story along. Nothing offensive, nothing special. I definitely don't think
it's Roddy, but he could be in the mix.
Yeah, he could be.
I don't know where.
They're getting a lot of mileage out of
something, I'm just like looking down. I think, okay, we could probably talk about it at the end after MJF, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. It'll work in somewhere because
no doubt
it's all over the place. Next we get Sky Blue versus Red Velvet and what I subtitled Color Clash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Winner gets
Battle of the Primary Colors.
Yep,
is that correct? The primary.
Winner gets in the TBS title match at Full Gear, which already has Julia Hart in it. So, yay!
This match was something.
Oh, it made my list and not the one you want to get on. There's basement single leg dropkick for 2 from Velvet. Decent apron DDT from Sky Blue.
There was a couple cool things. I will say that.
Like 1.
I like the Skyfall too. I thought it looked good.
Skyfall's alright.
Yeah,
I've seen it done better. Velvet counters a powerbomb into a not at all impactful looking Hurricane Rana, then a sequence of back and forth pinfalls, followed by a double roundhouse spot that doesn't get any of it.
So we actually watched it and went, I think they both missed, and then we watched it twice more so we could focus on each person.
It's like
they both missed.
The way it looked like was like Velvet missed, but then when she was selling her kick, when she was selling Sky Blue's kick, when she came in, that's when her foot touched Sky Blue, and then so it's weird. Velvet did better because the way Sky Blue's leg went up, it looked like her leg just like flew up when she was falling down. So it was honestly like it was horrible.
It's kind of like they both miss, but they both sell it still. So it's not. It just compounds it.
Horrible. There's Skyfall for a near fall, and the worst Code Blue I've ever seen in my entire life gets the win for Sky Blue. Like it was horrible.
It wasn't good.
It was abysmal. All I have to say is it was a horrible botch-filled mess where I didn't care one bit about who won, even with the title shot at stake. And there's not much more to say about that. This was abysmal.
I'll be a little kinder, as is usually the case here.
Yeah.
Both of these women, I think, are fine, and with the right opponent, they can have a pretty decent match. But this was not the case.
They are not each other's fine.
There's no ring general between the two, so together, I don't think there was.
No, this was a horrible mix on paper and in execution.
There were multiple sloppy parts, almost like they're trying to do too much too fast, and things end up looking
Velvet
awkward.
Always looks kind of slow to me when she's doing some things. Like sometimes she'll connect with the odd thing where we're like, "Oh, that's nice," but then she does things like really slow, and it's just like, which I think is the case with some of the women on the roster.
But, yes, I thought a few things looked cool. A lot of things didn't, and this got 10 minutes, and I don't think it needed it. We've complained about some women's matches being too short. This was not one.
No, I implore people to find the finish of this match because that Code Blue looked terrible. Like it was like a rolling stop, quite literally.
No one gained a lot from this other than, I guess,
a title shot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah.
No, and out of kayfabe, no one gains anything from this.
That's what I thought.
That's horrible. Quick Miro promo after, which is a collision thing, so it's a little disconnected for me. He was talking about CJ Perry, which is not interesting to me at all. He says she brings out the worst in both of them. He issued it to Dwayne and Daniel Garcia because they have a match on Collision. I don't care a ton about this because I hate Lana. But I really like the line where he was like talking. She's like she brings out the worst in herself and in him too, because I thought that made him sound cool, right? Because like he's like, whether it's like, I think, is he like, I don't know what the angle is, because he keeps thinking of people that she wants to work with. So I don't know if he's like jealous or if he's.
It's like he's not going to work with her, but nobody else can either.
Right, like it's his hot wife, so no one else can work with her. I guess I think that's.
I like the complex dynamic of it's not like he has problems with his wife. He just has problems with her as managing him. It's not. He's like it's
as
not
a manager, right?
Like mixing personal and work doesn't work, which is sophisticated a little bit.
I like part of this. I think Miro's cool and all, but ever since the Redeemer fizzled out, I've been kind of over him. So I'm kind of like it's like Hobbs, but on a lower level. Like they're gonna need to really do something to get me invested in Miro again, because it's been a while since I've actually been interested in him, because he had that weird feud with House of Black,
right?
And there's a Hobbs feud that I didn't care about. Like they need something where I'm gonna care.
Yes, I'm more into him than you are, but you're not.
You've always has.
I have, but you're not wrong. And when you said it's a little disconnected, because we don't watch Collision, or rarely, if there's something big, we'll pick it up or I'll watch a little bit, but. Yeah, it's kind of coming out of nowhere, and you're kind of, and maybe I'm not even piecing the story together correctly because I'm trying to based on what I know. But I still like his promo style. I find it different from pretty much everybody.
I like they did kind of move away from the Redeemer thing though, because I think that like it was a success and then it kind of failed out. So I like that he's kind of moving away from it, but he's still, you can tell he's kind of similar to it. Though.
Yeah, and that he just doesn't want to work with his wife because that brings out the worst in both of them, right?
Oh wait,
imagine this guy.
Oh wait. Next we get RJ City bringing Myra and May to Tony Storm's locker room. We got black and white when Luther answers the door.
I think that's kind of funny.
I do like that touch, yes. But what I didn't like was they had the old timey distortion on the voices. That kind of made it hard to understand. I didn't like that.
I get they're committed to the bit.
Get why they did it, and I think that it's like a fine creative choice, but just like in execution, I thought it made it harder for me to take notes.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I didn't like it.
Yep.
Mariah introduced herself in Fangirls a lot. Storm says she's not doing autographs right now, which is kind of funny. Mariah fangirls more. Storm says she didn't catch a word of it, much like me, because again, sounded weird.
Yeah.
Mariah leaves, and Storm tells Luther to contact Tony Khan, book her a tune-up match for Friday. This is decent, not a lot to it. I thought Mariah had a solid performance in her role, but it's just kind of a start, so I didn't love it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was okay. I didn't love it.
I kind of like it. I think where they're maybe going and I want the Mickey James, Trish Stratus sort of
Who
feel.
wouldn't?
And they could go with to stick with this whole drama thing. She's probably going to be like the understudy, and maybe that leads to some sort of issues down the road. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm still find these very interesting, right? Like they grab my attention.
Somewhat,
I'm not paying attention to anything else when this is on. So, and again, at least they're trying to do something with women and a new woman as well. So I'm for it so far. Like we'll see where it goes. I think Storm's getting more comfortable in this role every week, and Mariah May, for what I've seen of her, I haven't seen her in ring obviously, but
no, she has a
sounds solid.
I thought, yeah. Like, she's doing the role well. It's just I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm still not out on it, but like out on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're undecided.
It's hard to decide.
I kind of enjoy it. So far.
Next we get Samoa Joe jobber match. Jobber tries kicking him in the leg, but Joe blocks him. Big boot from Joe. Flurry jabs in the corner, running back elbow followed by Enziguri. The guy went for a dive off the top. Joe walks out of the way as usual. It was funny because like midair, the guy noticed and he was like kind of like, "What the hell?"
What do you do?
And then he face planted. Big Larry and a Kina clutch for the win. Joe speaks. He says he comes from California, where they are. He still extends his offer to MJF. He says whether he accepts the offer or not, he will find out. He's inevitable.
Oh, he's stealing catchphrases now.
Simple squash, short promo, keeps him looking killer, solid stuff.
Yeah, Joe played all the hits, right? One quickly. I like the immediate tap by the jobber, like immediate tap. Yep. And it's the idea Joe's hungry, people get hurt, right? And so it's a good time to take him up on his services because he's more violent and aggressive than ever. So, and yeah, solid Joe promo after, as always.
Then we get a recap of the Continental Classic announcement. I wrote this before I thought Ospreay could be in it. I'm saying you put Takeshita in it, you could give him give him the win, push him hard. Like that'd be hypothetically if you put Takeshita in there and he like either not goes undefeated but like has a good run and maybe even wins the damn thing.
Has to face Danielson and beat him.
Yeah, Takeshita Danielson in the finals.
Be awesome.
Which they did. They had that match earlier this year, but now Takeshita
run it back.
Yeah, run it back. I would love to see Takeshita do at least be in it, if not win the whole thing, because I think that would be really awesome. If they're serious about pushing him, which I think they are.
Feels like it so far.
They should do that, or put Ospreay. Ospreay or Takeshita would be.
Ospreay, I would argue, doesn't even need it though.
No, but that would get him on a bunch of matches on TV, and he could fight Danielson in the finals. And if you're saying you don't want Ospreay Danielson,
I do. Of course, I do.
You're insane. Next we get the Young Bucks versus Penta, El Zero Miedo, and Commander. Penta's back in the red, and that hits hard. That's one of the best looks of the year.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
My note just before this was the first hour has gone by pretty quickly, and to be honest, I'm finding the absence of MJF refreshing. His constant presence has been fatiguing for me.
Right, yeah. Not because we don't like him, because he's doing great work, but like just the constant stuff on TV. It's going to happen if you use anyone, right? No matter who it is. So
well, it's just, I'll comment on that later, I think.
Yeah,
too.
I think no matter who it is, I think the amount of stuff he's been in is going to be fatiguing. So I think like for him and for us, we needed breaks. So I think, it's good. Because I love MJF.
It was basically he wasn't involved in the first hour at all.
Right,
that was refreshing.
And I love him, but I agree. I didn't need like 5 segments in a show, right?
Correct.
So
exactly.
That was good, yes. Bucks on their way to a heel turn in their homeland. That's kind of odd timing.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of paid off because they even got booed in their hometown. So
they did.
Towards the end, obviously. There's a series of missed moves, intentional not botched on like the women.
Yeah, it was just like they're evenly matched sort of idea.
Then they all connect with kicks. They connect with kicks.
They did.
Emphasis on that.
They did.
Then everyone's down. Everyone kips up. Super kicks from the Bucks. Step up into an avalanche Hurricanrana to Nick from Commander. He does the tightrope walk along the top rope to Hurricanrana Nick off the apron onto Matt. Penta hits the package pile driver to Nick on the apron. Absolutely stuck him.
Looked good.
Commander walks the ropes and steps off of Matt, who Penta had in a fireman's carry to hit a destroyer on Nick. Then Penta hits that spinning DVD move for 2, which I knew he was going to do, but it looked so sick.
And that's because I just had cool destroyer spot, and then that's what it was. Now I remember.
Matt distracts the ref because he is selling his knee for some reason. Then Nick just counter springboard dive from Commander by kicking him in the balls, and he kicks Penta in the balls too. I thought it was a nice just like swing kick into the nuts that he did.
It was a pretty stiff kick.
Looked pretty effective. Nick gets a Judas effect, which is better than Jericho.
It was.
He did it really good. I was just like, holy crap.
We need to start a list of people. Andrade, Dar.
Noam Dar, Nick Jackson.
Not necessarily in that order, because probably Dar's first.
Dar.
I think Takeshita, if he did one, probably.
I feel like he has.
He might have.
We'll just say elbows in general. I don't even know. We'll go back elbows. It's Dar, Andrade, Nick Jackson at the very least. That's like 2 of them are in AEW, and 1 of them is Noam Dar.
And sometimes Jericho's look good. Sometimes, but he's not as consistent as Dar.
And I don't even think a good Juice effect holds a candle to Noam Dar. Dar's elbow is nasty. Like, they should ban that
and add it to the one that was slightly after the bell in the that was Butch? Just perfect. Yeah.
And Butch sells it, or Pete Dunne. What am I saying? Pete Dunne is so good at selling too. Like the whiplash, it looks like he gets on that. It's like enough about that. Noam Dar's back elbow is
the best.
Dare I say perfect.
Yep.
But Nick hit a Juice effect, and then we got a BTE trigger on Commander for the win from the Bucks.
Yeah, random match, but a lot of fun in the crowd.
The one guy on Instagram I saw, he said Bucks versus Luchadors is always good.
Yeah, the crowd really got into this one. Penta and Commander looked strong in defeat since the Bucks needed to cheat, and I'm happy they did because this is their natural state of being unlikable. I think they're unlikable people in general, probably.
I like them when they're unlikable, though.
So do I. This is the best version of them for TV purposes.
It's well documented. Well, yeah, because real life is whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, even if they're unlikable, I guarantee they're better than Punk. So
for sure,
there's that. But like, it's documented on the pod. I absolutely love heel Nick Jackson when he's just like douchebagging it up. He is
Bucks is
fantastic.
The best.
Oh yeah, because they did the stupidest thing with their hairs, and usually I hate that, but like
their facial hair too.
They were so like, remember when they like not only the handlebar mustache in the beard, but then they made it pink that one time. That was like, it's ridiculous. But I agree. This is their natural state, and it's always fantastic.
And it also clarifies the Bucks Omega situation ahead of the match a little bit, instead of being like, who am I rooting for? Who's the baby face?
I'm rooting
here?
for the Bucks, to be clear.
Fair.
But
who am I supposed to? Yeah. Right? It's a little clarity there.
Yeah, for sure. A fun TV match for sure. Bucks always deliver in the ring, and they always have good chemistry with the Lucha Bros or any similar combination. And Commander was a perfectly solid substitute for Phoenix. I still think he still produced a good match. Obviously, Lucha Bros Bucks is peak.
Yep.
But this is still good. Penta hit that driver on the apron, which is particularly notable one. I thought in general, though, this had a nice pace to it. Smooth action that held my interest.
Yep.
I liked the bit of heel work in the end with the Lobos, just to cement that this is the different Young Bucks. Like, this is them kind of reverting back. I hope eventually Omega reverts back. I mean, heel elite, it's tricky because it's hard not to do them on top because they're big stars like that. I'm not even saying just because they're a company, but like heel elite is a top act, so it's tricky. And I'm not saying the Bucks can easily do it on their own, but I would like Kenny to join the back because Kenny's also fantastic when he's just healing it up because like he looks ridiculous sometimes as well.
But Callis they need too.
That's true. They can't do it without Callis, so maybe not. But yeah, so the most part of this match, they were saying the babyface as usual. So I like that bit at the end, and they even got booed in Cali, which is that's good. That's the heel heat you need. Then after we got a backstage interview with them, Matt says they no longer give a damn. Omega comes in questioning them. Matt says the best version of them. Agreed.
Agree.
Kenny got his success in a similar way, which is also a good point. Matt says their problem is with Chris, not Kenny, and Kenny says to keep it clean for the pay-per-view. Jericho came in saying something I don't remember. Nick took a cheap shot at him, or Nick or Matt, and they all have to be separated. This was nice. I like when the Bucks are more interesting. Omega had his big run as a heel, so they do have a point.
So I get that Kenny's kind of stuck in the middle, right, with the Bucks hating Jericho, but I feel like I don't quite know why the Bucks hate Jericho so much. And that's the thing that, like, they have like a decent story, a makings of one, but I don't quite know the details. Why do they hate Jericho so much?
They didn't have like a big feud with Jazz or anything.
I don't know. And that's why it's just like they are clearly like that's the issue here is
I guess the Elite did fight the Inner Circle in early AEW, but like,
other than just like Omega's been choosing other people other than them.
Maybe it's just everything Jericho's been doing.
Sure.
I would probably automatically hate Jericho, but
that could be a reason. I just wish it were more clear.
Yeah,
I guess is all.
Next we had Guns against Jobbers. I just in their entrance, I just love Juice. He's just, I say it every week, but he's so funny. I love Juice so much. If I could give Juice an award, I would give Juice. Maybe I do have my honorary bits for the year end, so maybe I'll throw Juice a bone because he's just a funny guy.
He is funny.
Brief brawling and a 310 to Yuma seal a quick win. And also we hear their theme 3 times.
Right.
At least the intro with the Bullet Club, the knife slash, and then the theme opening, because they do it entrance, post match, and a promo. Then again, which I don't care. I like their theme a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't used to, but I do. But it was just funny. Colton says this was a 2-on-2, so imagine when it would be like 2-on-1. It's not.
Nope.
He says all of his friends are gone, and soon his tag titles will be too. Austin sends off with a guns up.
Yeah, the Guns are getting the Wardlow treatment as a tag team, kind of, right? They just are squashing people the last little bit here.
Except I like the Guns.
It was fine.
Weird. That's weird.
And then I didn't know typing that note would summon Wardlow, because that's what's next. It's my bad.
It's all your fault. Another squash brief bit afterwards. We preferred an actual match though, or something, or some more post match, but this is fine. The Guns are a lot better than they used to be. So
yeah,
if this was
showing they're dominant.
If this was Guns of last year, I would probably take an issue with this, but I like Bullet Club Gold, so I'll allow it. What I don't like is Wardlow. He's training or doing something or whatever. He said MJF's time's running out. He saw fear in his eyes. He beat some guys in a ring. He says he's going to make the devil's bitch. Blah, blah, blah. Cut the devil mask at the end. I don't want any of this. I do not want Wardlow near the title or MJF. I don't care. Tell him to go away. Devil mask tease was the only thing I cared about. And even though it wasn't really anything new.
Yeah, it's not that he's doing a bad job or anything. It's still just
like him.
I'm not really interested in this. We've gone down this road already. So yeah, he did fine, but I just don't care.
I could not be bothered. I don't like him. Next we get the Don Callis family versus what I guess I'll say the Golden Jets, Kota Ibushi and Paul White in a quote like a dragon Gaiden street fight.
That's a little bit much.
That's 8 syllables, I think.
Too many.
That's more syllables
too many
than I need.
Yeah.
So I said this during the entrance, and it was funny, so we wrote it down. Paul White returned the other week in his ring gear to not wrestle, and then appears to wrestle in not his ring gear.
Right.
Because him and Jericho are suited.
Singlet last week. No physical contact with anything.
Remember he had physical contact with Fletcher, much to our dismay.
Punched our boy.
But like,
and then full suit today to wrestle in a hardcore match.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. And Jericho looked kind of dumb being suited the whole time. It's like it's a solid entrance bit or whatever. Because I get it's probably game related, but like Jericho looked kind of weird. Like because he legitimately looked like
it's game related.
He looked the Saved Boys from GCW. Like that's what
Jericho
looked like the whole time.
Yeah, Brother Yates and brother.
Yeah.
Something. Yates is the one. He's also the sound guy for that.
Yates is the one with he's got like kind of Briscoe teeth looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, there was the brawl. Starts on the entrance stage. Poor Fletcher gets choked him off the stage by White because he just can't catch a break.
At least that was a big enough spot that he should be selling it, as opposed to some of the stuff he has to sell later on in this.
Or last
or
week.
Other people. Yeah, last week as well.
Yeah, because that's but Fletcher's honest. He's getting the JD McDonough treatment in the
a little bit,
Day, which makes me sad because I love them both so much.
Yeah, I know.
Especially JD McDonough.
At least they're getting time on TV.
Justice for JD McDonough. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
a lot of people
JD McDonough's been doing more TV time than I thought he would. So.
Yeah, me too.
Takeshita is on the receiving end of some tandem offense from the Golden Lovers, some classic stuff there. Cage stands around to take a moonsault from Ibushi, which was strange because remember he walked around the ring and then Omega and him and Ibushi did
Omega and Ibushi stand in the ring for 2 minutes.
You're doing some weird thing and then hand gesture thing and then
no one explained it, and I'm sitting there going, what's going on? And then people have to stand out on the floor and wait to get hit by moonsaults. That was weird. Takeshita and Cage looked really dumb here, I thought.
Takeshita sends Omega into a food sign that was up against the ring post. Takeshita looked kind of cool. He had these pirate pants.
Yeah, he did. Those are his. It was definitely game related, but I think so. Yeah,
I kind of liked it.
It was okay.
Just for Street Fight gear, it kind of amusing. He's like a Asian Paul Burchill.
It didn't look bad.
Oh my god! So, that reminds me. On I saw NWA post. I think it was this one tag team, they're looking for a new guy or whatever, and you know who's so they're holding auditions, and Corgan was on it for some reason, so it's great, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who showed up in NWA? Burchill.
Did he?
Burchill.
I didn't hate him actually.
Well, yeah, it's funny because he's just Burchill. He's like, you know who I am, and something like that. It's he was barely a mid card WWE guy. He's half pirate, half incest.
Yeah, they leaned into that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, anywho, back to this. Ibushi rides a bike down the ramp and rides around, lightly tapping Fletcher and Takeshita with a pipe, which I didn't like. However, I did get a chuckle at a Cage just clotheslining him off the bike, and then because
he landed on his neck.
That's what I'm saying. That was worth it to me.
I have the clothesline to Ibushi on the bike almost made the other bike stuff worth it.
No, like that's what I'm saying. Yeah. This and the other bike stuff after makes it worth it. I agree. I didn't like that because but I'll allow it just because of other stuff. Hobbs becomes my favorite wrestler by body slamming Paul White on a car hood in the parking lot.
That looked good.
That was awesome because
did
Paul
not
White
expect that.
Took that whole bump.
Right.
He was out of the rest of the match.
Correct.
So for that, we must be thankful to Hobbs.
Big Show did next to nothing. So
which makes me happy. Yep. Takeshita takes everyone out with the bike as a weapon, and then he hits Ibushi with the Brainbuster on the bike. That was gnarly.
It looked like it would hurt Takeshita just about as much, but it looked awesome.
That was awesome. That made the bike stuff worth it for sure. Takeshita and Jericho brawling backstage after a commercial break.
And this, I will point out here, production really struggled going back and forth between the locations. Like some of the cuts to backstage were so fast you couldn't even... They didn't sort of pace out, okay, now let's have something big in the ring. Let's have something big.
Yeah, they could have paced it a little better, right?
There was confusion there.
Yeah. Fletcher and Cage suplex Omega on a pallet, which looked pretty awesome.
Yep.
Just because like the pallet's just hard. And I think it was a plastic one, but Fletcher covered him for 2. Fletcher gets bottled by Omega. Takeshita jumped off of vending machines to get sprayed by a fire extinguisher.
He looked kind of silly there.
He looked dumb because I knew he was jumping into something, so it was like I was hoping it would at least be a wrestling move, and he looked a little dumb there, but at least that's like a typical thing. But he just jumped into like mist.
Yes.
So it was kind of dumb. Then a Judas effect. Nick Jackson did it better. I will say it again. Cage is outside in superplex, but this time it was inside out because he suplexes Omega out of the ring through 2 tables. That was clean.
Crazy. I assumed like, okay, they're not going to go through it, that he's going to counter it into something. Nope. There they go.
They just full on did it.
It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Looked great.
Fletcher had Ibushi on the apron. He hit him with like a tombstone from the apron through like they had a sign on some seated chairs. That looked awesome too.
That position he ended up in kind of looked awesome. The way he was kind of dangling there.
That was
but
the break of the sign was super clean too. Yeah.
Someone posted he was back on his feet
like 3 minutes after.
2 minutes and 39 seconds after taking a tombstone.
That irked me a little, but the spot looked awesome.
It did.
Omega and Jericho tape Hobbs to the ropes. I think that's what they did to Omega, right? I think that's what it was.
They taped him really, really well too.
Very well, yeah. I mean, I guess you'd have to.
Yeah.
Omega hits Hobbs in the head with a sign, then a chair in the midsection, thankfully, and then he bottles him in the head. V triggered a Cage, and then Hobbs catches a stray as well. Then a one-winged angel to Cage, which is pretty impressive actually, for the win. It was like it was funny.
You knew Cage was taking this pin out of all the people.
It was what was the Cage was going for the drill claw. Or it was like they were like, what was he thinking? And then we were just saying drill claw is all I'm ever thinking. Anytime I see Brian Cage on TV, I'm just like drill claw. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
The fact that we didn't get one,
not even one,
is frustrating.
Like honestly. That was annoying. I would drill claw Paul White actually.
This was obviously a car crash, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
I think from what I was kind of expecting the sponsorship, I enjoyed this enough. I think
I did too. There were some weak spots. Don't get me wrong, but there were also some crazy spots. Yeah. So it was a spectacle that like keeps your attention. I ended up enjoying it overall.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Hobbs. He gets a viral spot, and then the only way they stop him is by literally duct taping him to the rope.
Yeah, so makes Hobbs comes out of this looking really good.
I thought he looked good, and I really am happy. His association with Callis has been great for him.
I think it's paid off for him and Takeshita for sure. Guevara, he got injured, so
it's hard to say.
And Fletcher is brand new.
But no, I would overall say I enjoyed this match. It was crazy. There was some stuff I did, like the lead pipe shots on the bike were like crap worthy.
I think the bike stuff ended up working out.
But there was enough in this that I would overall say, I quite enjoyed it.
It started out kind of slow and brawly, which I didn't love, but I thought it got more enjoyable towards the middle. And I agree, there were some spots I didn't like. Not everything was great. Some things were questionable, but I think the positives outweighed the negatives.
Yes,
I really liked some of the spots. The table spot, the sign spot, the car spot were all really, really killer. I thought those looked really nice. Oh, and the bike spot, obviously, with the brain buster. I think this is by far a more enjoyable sponsorship than their Leatherface one, because that one was horrible. I think that made the worst matches of the year. I think it had to. Yeah, it did. This was far more enjoyable. I'm also glad they effectively wrote off Paul White for most of the match. I think that helped because having him lumbering around the whole time would not help things.
No, not at all.
So I think
and just people having to sell his stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't help anybody.
Like Fletcher.
Because why are you elevating Paul White at this point?
Yeah, he's tall enough,
and he's not capable of making other people look good. So don't use him.
Other than Hobbs, I guess.
It's that easy, right?
There's that
for one thing. Yeah.
I'm shocked he took that spot, but that's a lot for him. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Of course, he had to make Fletcher look stupid on his way, though. But whatever. That was one thing. Finish was solid as well. Of course, it was Cage, but that's all right. I enjoyed this though. It wasn't amazing, but I think it was like good enough, and I think it had its moments, so I liked it.
Yep.
Car crash in a fun way.
It was. That's it.
Then we finish off by hearing from MJF. So keeping him in one segment this week, I think
that's
liked it because again,
it felt meaningful.
I like him, but like yes, keeping him contained to one thing is good because he does have a lot of things going on. So I think multiple things in a week is okay, but they did overdo it a couple weeks. So I think doing this. Just the one is fine because I think it's like you can have someone in multiple things sometimes, but I think it's because they did it like multiple back-to-back weeks. So that's the kicker because I feel like if it's one show and he's scattered throughout, then that's not a big deal. Like especially with the partner storyline the 1 week,
right? That
makes sense. But yeah. So anyways, this was good just to keep him contained for this week. He says sometimes he feels cursed and he apologized to the Acclaimed that they got hurt by being in his crossfire and he hopes they feel better. He said all he ever wanted to be was a world champion, and he is proud to say he made it to the mountaintop. He said he sees men climbing the mountain trying to shove him off, which is kind of how this works. He admitted he's afraid he could lose everything he's worked for. He's afraid that he would let the fans down. He said he's done having his past affect his future and present. He said he may be afraid, but they better send a whole army to get his ass to come down, which could consist of Bullet Club Gold and masked people. He said Jay White's been walking around with a title that he hasn't earned, and he has a chance to prove it at Full Gear. He says he didn't think White could do it because he doesn't think anyone can do it. He said he's better than you, and you know it. He had a message for the man that stole his devil mask. When he finds out who it is, there will be hell to pay. Then Jay White comes out with the title again. He said MJF is the villain, and he always will be. He said no. He's told us he's the devil, and nobody's on his level. He said he's not their hero. He's their scumbag. He said that they will drop him. He said the fans mean nothing to Max, and he's speaking the truth. White told MJF his days as official champion are numbered, and he is better than MJF, and he had 2 words for him, which is get him, and then Bullet Club Gold jump him from behind. MJF was almost fighting them off, but then he gets caught with a left hand to God and a 310 to Yuma, then a Blade Runner as Jay White enters the ring, and he pins him as Juice counts the pin, so now he's official champion.
That's right.
He won. You can't dispute it. Then we see Samoa watching on TV angry.
I thought this was a good segment to end the show. I'm gonna say it. This might be controversial. I'm not fully on board with face MJF. There's just something missing for me. Like he's doing fine, and maybe it's just simply I know how amazing he is as heel, and it's not. This is paling in comparison to heel MJF.
I think I share your sentiment. I do like it enough, like you're saying, but I enjoy more when the heel tendencies are still there. I think
yes. That he's gone like.
Now that he's leaning more towards the face side, it's less.
Now that I'm not waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? I'm less interested.
I think without Cole here,
and I think that's the Cole injuries.
Yes, I think it's through no fault of his own.
No,
I think because he's still doing a great job, whether we like it better or not. Because he is fantastic. So I think even in this babyface role, he is doing a great job. But I agree with you. I think I like it. But I love it when he's got Cole with him because, like you said, there's that other shoe waiting to drop. There's this looming real MJF, right? Like I feel like there's always that, but it's less present. It's not shown as much when Cole's not there.
And now he's just pure babyface.
Right. I think sometimes we get the heel glimpses that we like, and that's when I like it more.
Me too.
But we're not getting enough of that without Cole here because they've really been nipped in the foot with Cole out of here.
Yeah.
Or nipped in the ankle.
And then White, on the other hand, I think is killing it in his heel role.
I love him.
And I'm at this point consistently finding him more interesting than MJF in this story. I'd be fine if he won. I know he's not winning.
I know he's not, but I'm
I'd
really
be fine
hoping
with
for it. I'm really hoping for it.
So I think Jay White is killing it in this role.
Absolutely.
And MJF's a fine babyface, but not what I want for him.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a pretty good segment. Didn't feel like it needed to close the show. I feel like it could have been placed anywhere, but it's a nice go home bit, so I think it's good. I like they saved MJF for here. We just need a break from the constant stuff, and I'm glad we got a breather this week, so we could breathe with the Switchblade.
Right.
I like what MJF said, though. It was mostly general, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I furthered the angle with the devil, which is a great thing they have going, which I'll talk about in a second, I guess. White once again killed it. I absolutely love him on the mic. He was just flowing really nice. What he says, he feels like he knows what he's gonna say every time. He's got his rhythm, and he's really great with it.
And he wasn't always this way either.
No, but
early Jay White was like kind of.
But he's really found his groove. Yeah,
yes.
He's super convincing as a top guy. I know he's going to get his time at some point. It's just a matter of when. If it's not this time, he's going to get that title at some point because I think it would be
think so too.
I think it'd be a miss, especially when he's got Bullet Club Gold. I think Jay White as a mega heel champion with Bullet Club Gold around, that's a money act right there.
And his first few appearances in AEW, I was like, they're not presenting them the way I want them to.
I think Bullet Club Gold was the real, or once they got like Bullet Club Gold like full, you know, because him and Juice were good together, but
no, they needed the
Guns really add to their
crazy.
Act, right?
I just, as we're talking about them, I just added them to like. I just have a random list going to, and it just says Guns Most Improved ? Because that's a strong nominee.
Oh yeah,
like front runner possibly, right?
Yeah. I just didn't even,
because I think they've improved in the ring and character.
I'll put that on our thing right now because I was looking for
I think they've improved in all facets pretty much.
Yeah, because I think they're better in the ring, but I think especially outside of the ring.
And we actually like them now.
We actually like them, yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed this one bit of the promo where he said, he's in the 2 words for you, when he said get him instead of Guns Up, because I was expecting that just to be the end, and he's Guns Up, he's going to sign off. So that actually kind of caught me off guard. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I thought it was a nice touch to have just Joe watching the whole thing angrily, because like
that's what he
MJF could be accepting the offer, but he hasn't yet. So he's
not helping him unless it benefits him.
I really like that. Yeah. I was half expecting Joe to come out. So before we go with the show, on the devil thing, I've been watching videos and whatever, so I'm definitely of the opinion. I think it's definitely Adam Cole.
That is my leading candidate.
That's the leading.
If I were to handicap the odds as they do in betting circles, I would say he's the favorite.
I think like there's an interesting detail I saw pointed out in the video I was watching. I think it was Tranquilo Club. The last time we saw Cole on screen was the only time we've ever seen the devil on screen, like in person.
Right.
Like that was when Jay White got attacked. That was the only time the devil was there. I mean, yes, he wasn't limping, but like there's workarounds there.
Sure. And now it's just his face.
We only see him on video, just like we see Cole. Cole has easy access to the devil mask. Like he was always with MJF.
And the technology to smoothly cut in and out onto any TV he wants.
He's got that too, right? He can easily.
He's got the technology.
He can patch himself on a TV. He can patch the devil on a TV.
Right.
Easy. I think he could be affiliated with Roddy and the Kingdom. I feel like maybe he's not annoyed with Roddy. Maybe he got away from Roddy and he's acting this way because then you wouldn't expect, right? Because on the surface he's pissed at Roddy, right? Because he's friends with MJF. And then you bring back Kyle O'Reilly. I'm saying I miss Kyle O'Reilly. I think
he is ready.
He's cleared to go.
I'm pretty sure
this is where you bring him back. Yeah. So I really hope he comes back. And then Cole's got all the motivation in the world. We know how bad he wanted the world title at All In. He's like maybe MJF and Joe lose their titles, or like there's plenty of reason Cole could do it. If it's not Cole, I think it's a miss. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with it being Britt Baker and Adam Cole's other friends trying to bring him back away from MJF.
I don't. Well, then MJF can't fight the devil.
Partly selfishly because I want Britt Baker back with her heel edge.
But that's A, it wouldn't keep her in the women's division. B, then MJF can't fight the devil. C, it clearly wasn't a woman. And I've heard that like the people that they had in that segment are like the people that they've decided on.
I've heard it's for like somebody was like, oh, judging by the bodies, it's for sure Taven and
right? Yeah, Bennett. So that's what I've heard is that whoever was in, I think, the original segment, or I guess in the other ones too, are like, it's not just bodies, it's the people they've decided, right?
Like Retribution changed. It's not, they're not doing that.
They have like 20 people and then it's just like the 5.
And then suddenly, wasn't Mia Yim a late addition too or something?
No, it was that Mercedes Martinez was in the original lineup and then she left.
Right.
Because she's smart.
Right.
Anyways, back to the full show now.
Overall this week, again, this was an appropriate amount of MJF for me. And it's not just him. No one person would get that much exposure that he's been getting lately. If I were running a company,
it was a lot,
it's not a personal slight. It's just too much of anyone. I like this show. I don't think there was any blowaway matches. The opener I could have liked better. I think my match of the night was the main event. I thought it was really fun. And then Penta Commander Young Bucks was actually really good match as well. So 2 matches that I thought were worth watching. segment-wise, fine. I liked a lot of the things on it. Nothing like completely blew me away.
I think it's a pretty good go-home, though. Like, you have some things coming out of the show, so I think it worked.
So I'm going to give it a B. I don't think it was an A-level show for me, but a good show I enjoyed. I've preferred it to several in the last 5 or 6, so I thought a good go-home show. I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view. I'll give it a B this week.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a pretty solid show. So I'll go home because, like, we have the Hangman segment. Oh, that was probably my favorite thing on the show, actually.
That was awesome.
Hangman just absolutely killed it. This is why I love Hangman. I love me some Hangman. That was awesome. That was a great go-home bit. I thought the main event segment with MJF and Switchblade, also a great bit to send us to the pay-per-view. Bucks match was good, and then also their little segment sends us to the pay-per-view. Same with the opener. Opener was solid. I agree, could have been better, but good for go-home. Women's match was a total waste of my time, and I hated it.
It was bad.
Tony Storm stuff was fine. Miro was fine. We had 2 squashes, which weren't really much, but it further things slightly, so those are okay. And the main event was actually quite fun, and was better than I thought it would be. So I actually really enjoyed that as well. I would say a B show, almost a B plus, but
that's exactly where I was.
I don't think quite good enough. So yeah, it was a pretty solid show, and I am very looking forward to Full Gear, which we will get to in a matter of hopefully less than an hour.
Probably around there. We'll preview it.
Something like that.
Yep. All right, so let's shift gears now away from reviewing things and challenge you with a little bit of trivia in what I like to call off the top of his head. All right, so we're going to try it again. We're going to go for
audio to Electric Boogaloo.
Some more audio and another copyright notification, not a violation, because they said there was nothing.
Why? Is it like more fair use? Or?
Yeah, I think it's fair use, and apparently CFOS, who was most of the ones I did last time, don't care. It was just like, yes, we noticed this is someone else's stuff, but you're not in trouble. We're just letting you know.
I like CFOS.
Okay, so this is now strictly 1990s and 2000s. Okay, and I'm going to try and get it to work without commercials popping in, but you never know what happens. If I suddenly mute it, you'll know.
Picked an era I don't do.
No, so that's the point. So we're starting off. I don't think this one's very difficult. So here you go. Is it going to be an ad first? Yes, it is.
You should like load them up on separate tabs.
Oh, that's far too much work for this hobby of mine.
Well, it's just
far too much work.
Looking them up on YouTube and just having them ready.
It's a lot of work.
I know it's Gold Dust. I'm just waiting to hear if it's his added JR1 or not.
So Attitude Era Goldust is what you're saying?
Goldust. I knew it was him just from the intro. It's just once the beat drops, then it depends. But that's the right one, yeah.
That is correct.
Early 90s Goldust. Not early 90s.
It says 95, 96.
Yeah, that's
if
when
that's correct. If the internet's to be believed.
That would be when he debuted.
All right, next one. You're 1 for 1. They actually said his name at the very beginning of it, but I don't think you caught it.
I thought he was saying "Help me."
No, but a name that sounds close to that.
Gangrel.
No, it's 97. This person is no longer of the living.
Is it WWE or WCW?
WWE.
Okay.
I think his son is a wrestler who just switched companies.
Oh, this is Pillman?
That is Pillman's. It's a 97. So is that WWE?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Probably when he was in the Heart Foundation.
Right. This one I don't think you'll get, but maybe. It's 1996. I'll give you that hint at least.
Jake Roberts.
Oh, wow. Yep. It's a classic. Good for you. All right, you got Jake the Snake Roberts real quick.
That might be. I don't think it's from the. I think it might partially be from the games, although I don't hear much. I might have to thank Stash Club for that one, because that's been in the videos. So
easy one. That up. Here's an easy one. I think. You don't know already?
Oh, Honky Tonk. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Honky Tonk is correct. Familiar.
At first, I thought Surfer Sting for a second. I don't know why.
All right.
Like, no, that's definitely Honky Tonk.
Next one I probably wouldn't get, but you probably will.
Okay. Mankind.
It is Mankind. Do you know which one specifically?
His first one.
Correct.
Yeah,
wow, why would you know that?
Well, because he's more associated with like the, it's like the
yes.
That's the when I think that's more when he turned face, because Mick Foley still uses that, but this was when he was like the boiler room creep.
It was literally it says very first one. Yeah.
That's the one he used when he was like weird heel still. Yeah.
Yep. All right, number 6. You're killing it so far. I think you missed one, probably.
Pillman.
Yep. And that's another ad.
I was gonna say that can't be a theme. I was gonna say.
I won't say who it is, but
Yoko.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Everyone knows Yoko.
Indeed, it was Yoko.
The classic Japanese wrestler.
That's who isn't Japanese, but we need the most Japanese
look the part,
theme.
I guess. Like.
All right, number 7. I don't know if you'll get this one.
Okay.
We'll see. Could be so many, really. That's all you get.
I don't know whose theme
that's
that
his
is,
first one as well.
That one kind of goes hard. I kind of like that.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Test. He got a massive push, hurt a lot of people, was kind of unsafe.
Ahmed Johnson?
Correct.
That's a good hint.
That's a good hint, eh? Hurt a lot of people. Ahmed Johnson?
I remember. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah. No, that's a kind of a good theme, though. Not
you like it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see Let's see what is next. What did I have on the list here? I actually made a list. This one, pretty sure you know.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Oh, Psycho Sid. No, see, I knew it, but I gapped for a second.
That is indeed Psycho Sid.
That's pretty fitting for him, actually. That's a good one for him.
All right, I have to sneak in the odd stumper, so okay. I don't think you'll get this.
Pillman's a good stumper.
I don't think you'll get this one.
Tie and tie?
Nope.
Flash Funk?
Nope, not Flash Funk.
Oddities? No, we did that before.
I say one word, you'll probably get it.
Okay.
Emancipated.
Oh, what is that? I forget what that means.
He's set free.
I don't know.
From his tyrannical boss. It was a huge moment. Was it 90s? I guess. They're saying it was 90s. It felt like 80s to me. It's Virgil.
Oh, really?
That's a tough one. From
emancipated? Like, isn't that when you, like, get your parents' custody or something?
That if you're emancipated as, like, a child, yes.
Is it Rude or is it Martel?
Neither.
I know.
That's all you get.
I know this too.
You should. You have a strong dislike for his current form. He still exists. You would say, unfortunately. In a company you prefer.
Ric Flair?
No.
Sting?
No. Too old, but getting...
Jarrett?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. I knew it
Jarrett.
Sounded familiar. Yes. Okay. No, I definitely remember that because I swear he came into that. He came back at like Rumble 19 or whatever. I think that was the first time he came back after after the whole. Ever since the China match and him and Vince had the falling out. Okay, so I knew that sounded familiar. I was like,
you got it.
I knew it.
All right, here's one I would not get, but you might because you know things about
strange.
Stuff.
It sounds familiar.
Very specific. So almost a mashup, I want to say.
Ivory.
So the first part, I believe, is a clip of like the theme of an event in WWE, and then they throw his theme on. I could be describing it incorrectly, but so it's it's for a very specific form of this huge man. Not huge in star power, but huge in stature. Yes. What if I told you I think the first part is the King of the Ring bit?
King Mabel?
Yeah.
Ugh.
King Mabel.
That makes sense then, yeah.
I think that's where it was. All right, next one.
Mabel, that's weird.
I stumped you on a few. I'm happy. Bopping his head. All right, that's all you get.
Slapper.
Yeah.
That one's a bop.
You don't know it?
No.
What were the first 3 words?
No,
you didn't hear the first 3 words?
3, 2, 1.
No,
or
the
1,
other
2,
way
3.
around. So.
Oh, is it X-Pac?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Kid.
1, 2, 3 Kid. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess because it's 9. I was thinking Agitator, so I said X-Pac. That's a kind of a killer one. That one's pretty good.
I've made a list on paper, so if you want to borrow it to see what songs you like.
Some of the oldies are kind of good. It was this one and I'm already forgetting. What was the other good
Whose
one?
else did you say? Ahmed Johnson's, I think?
Ahmed Johnson, yeah. Ahmed Johnson and 1, 2, 3 Kid.
All right, here's number 13 of 16. I think one you'll probably know if I had to guess. Maybe not, by the look on your face.
Too generic.
That's all you get. Super generic.
Steve Blackman.
No, I almost put that one on there.
I was thinking generic,
so it is
Taz?
A tag team, and it says
Headbangers.
So the tag team sort of changed names, and this was their first theme with that new name, according to this.
Headbangers changed names. They used to be
1999. It's saying
LOD 2000. No. APA.
Yes.
Nice.
They're saying that's APA's first theme.
Okay, not
if you can trust
right?
it. Here is one.
All right.
That I'm not sure if you'll get or not. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. If it's not a commercial. Celebrity appearance, I'll give you that.
Tyson.
Correct. That's your first celebrity just because of the era?
Yeah, because the era, and that's the only really notable one I can think of, unless you wanted me to go Lawrence Taylor.
Right. Okay, where is the next one that I wanted? Because it seems like it would be hard to me. But now I can't find it. So there, I just scrolled by Steve Blackman's that I was gonna use that one. So it's got to be before that. I just found the last one I want. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I got it. Here you go. Good luck. Second last one.
Sounds like hotel music.
It's a song of a whole faction.
Oddities?
Nope. Faction of... They did wrestle, but I don't know if they were...
Truth Commission?
No. A group of rich boys.
Mean Street Posse?
Correct. Says it's their third theme from 99, 2000.
That sounds Mean Street Posse, yeah.
So who knows? I guess, yeah. They were... I actually didn't hate them for some reason. I don't know. I probably should have.
Just Shane.
Okay, last one. I put this one on selfishly because I loved them. So we'll see if you know. And that's all you get.
Oh, it's the sound quality is not great.
It's a group that I really enjoyed that came into WWE around
Radicals?
that era. Correct. That is the Radicals theme.
That one's not bad. That was just it's generic. That's the tricky part. The others are generic.
They are very that era. There's that era. There's some that are very indistinguishable from others for sure.
Yeah, no, some of them stand out, some of them not so much.
You did pretty well, and we'll see if the audio version works.
I like those. Yeah,
if you all heard that, listeners, then I got it to work. If not, sorry, pretty boring for you. But anyways, we'll shift gears back into talking about more wrestling from the week. Whatever we like, didn't like, anything notable. It's what we call Highspots and Restholds. All right, so you're going to start out with some Monday Night Raw, and I actually watched highlights, so I might have some idea what you're talking about. What happened of note?
Perhaps. I only had 2 high spots, which were the notable turns, or I guess one turn, but first high spot was JD McDonough is finally officially in Judgment Day.
I saw they gave him a vest.
JD and the JD.
So Judgment Day, it had to be Damian Priest's decision, I guess, because he did it, and I saw, and then Balor walked up and was like, "It's about time" or something.
Yeah, so JD McDonough's got the vest, and JD McDonough's gonna start wearing purple.
Who was it? Oh my God, the vest being the most important thing. Why am I flashing back to
Drake Maverick and Killing Dane, I think.
Is that what it was? I think you're right. That's funny.
Wait. Yeah. Yes.
And something like the vest was so we were sarcastic about the vest being so important.
That's what it was, right?
Was it? I feel like it was something in Impact.
I feel like it was. I think it.
Any longtime listeners of ours that remember things.
Whose vest was it? Because
I was
thinking Jiro, but he had a jacket. It wasn't. I swear it was Drake Maverick.
Was it? Could it have been? Who was it? AC Romero and the other guy?
No, but
it wasn't them.
There was some vest-related arc.
I
swear it was Drake Maverick.
Vest-related arc is the exact way.
I swear it was Drake Maverick.
You might be right.
I swear to him and Killing Dane a vest, and like their theme was nice though, because it was
their team actually ended up kind of working.
Fun. I missed that.
Sorry, anything else?
Yeah, so I'm just hoping that he's not more legitimate now and less of a punching bag.
Yes, that would be nice.
He's fully forged member there. Give him the
No
Intercontinental title
guarantee, though.
No guarantee. No.
It could be just the guy that forever takes pinfalls in the multi-person matches for them.
That should be Dom, honestly, because clearly it doesn't really matter.
No.
The only other high spot is Drew McIntyre turning heel in the main event.
I saw that as well.
Jey Uso cost him the tag titles because for some reason Jay's like, I'm embarking on my own, but I'm gonna tag team with Cody Rhodes.
Was Jey Uso the yeet one now?
Yes.
It was super annoying. Every move he did, the crowd would go yeet. Which I thought was like, I remember your brother using yeet like 3 years ago.
He kept saying yeet on the Fastlane press conference.
Because he can't say yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Got to find his own little dumb thing.
He just, because it's funny, I guess.
All right, moving. Sorry, do you have anything else? Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, no, it's just this. But like, so it was, all the Judgment Day was brought from ringside. So it's one of those tropes. He's behind the Judgment Day. He shook hands with Ripley on the stage, so I'm not sure if he's full on joining the Judgment Day or if he's going to align with them for War Games or if he's just trying to get payback for Jay.
He doesn't need to be in
opinions. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's joining the Judgment Day, mostly because I don't think he should. It doesn't seem like a good fit for him.
No.
I think it's mostly just a heel turn and they're temporary allies. To me, there's a difference between JD McDonough fully joining it and McIntyre just kind of turning heel.
He can't be the last one to join. He's of a stature that he should be a leader if he's
and he's like
in a group, he's leading it.
He's good on his own, right? And he'd be a killer solo heel because like he's been good as a heel before, so it works. Plus McIntyre and McDonough both runs the risk because too many people. I think capping it with JD McDonough is good. And now I have to refer to him as McDonough in certain cases because JD could be the faction,
the whole group. Yeah.
So although usually I'd say Judgment Day.
Nice. All right, so moving into Tuesday and then Thursday with NXT and Impact. You actually watched some of both of those shows this week, so I
did do that.
You're probably like, I don't even remember what I watched, but
I don't remember what I watched on NXT other than Gigi Dolan.
I know you saw some stuff. So the first, I thought I liked the family regained the tag team titles, right? And what I thought was a pretty good tag opener. Action-wise, I liked it.
It's not the tag team wrestling I like.
And I assumed that the story they were going to tell was that JC Jane would get Andre Chase to cheat since she knows about whatever was in the envelope.
I think the idea is that it's spread around.
And it's because that was my disconnect. Is it some sort of scandal involving that? So they had like the Chase U section in the crowd, right? Like weren't supporting Chase and were like starting to leave,
filtering out. Yeah.
So they haven't shown us that this is up to scandal. All I remember is JC Jane saw it, Andre Chase saw it, and then the student. Although I guess now that I say it out loud,
she could have spread it around because she's JC Jane,
and there were students in there too. And with social media and how quickly things go through.
Exactly.
So I'm sort of talking myself back around here.
I feel like
but
there's
in the
an
moment I was like,
in
the moment I was like, they've shown no connection here to why this is now a scandal and the students have turned on them. So yeah, in the moment I didn't quite get it, but I thought the match itself was fine. Lita then just a notable, nothing good or bad really. She picks her Iron Survivor qualifying matches because legends get to do that. So of
legends,
right? Of all the people on the NXT roster, she chooses Roxanne Perez. Fine, prominent.
Pick Perez
versus
Trick Williams and Joe Coffey, which all makes sense. And then there's Lash Legend.
Right. So she says Perez and Lash Legend for entrance into the women's Iron Survivor, and Trick Williams and Joe Coffey. So I mean, you could question all of those picks really if you really drilled down, but. He is getting a lot of attention
but
lately.
He did lose his title and then he got attacked. So it's like, I guess like from a kayfabe point of view, it doesn't. I guess all of her choices suck. I guess
I think so, right? Like it's not even that I dislike some of them, but Roxanne makes sense. She's prominent, whatever. But like Joe Coffey ahead.
He lost the.
Anyways,
what was it the Invitational?
And then we get I did not enjoy this. You know I love Noam Dar. I'm one of his biggest fans, but I didn't like Supernova Sessions this week, and I think I know why.
I wonder.
What's your guess?
Because of Noam Dar. He's just horrible.
No.
We hate Noam Dar.
No. They have Alpha Academy on as guest this week.
Yeah. Chad Gable, I was saying, he just can't escape the goofy stuff.
And so Otis is hitting on Lash Legend.
That made me cringe.
Which was weird. Then people take turns speaking. I didn't really get a lot of it. Gable sort of teases that it's going to be Otis that faces Dar for the cup, and Dar's okay with that. And then it's a quick like swerve. It's going to be Gable.
That was kind of...
And Dar's not happy about that. Which,
that was iffy.
That match should be sweet. Your complaint is that it's a TV match, so we'll miss round 3.
Yeah, so it's like...
There goes round 3.
Butch and Dar was nice, but that like got on PLE, so it was like it got time. Why can't we build Dar and Gable for a deadline? Like that seems smarter to me.
So for me, this doesn't work because for comedy to work, you have to have a straight person, right? Like I don't mean,
but they're both kind of.
I don't mean sexuality wise. I mean humor wise.
Yeah.
Like somebody, but it's
Dar's
like,
usually like, and Dar's not a straight man, so
no,
it's like usually there's a straight man to his stuff.
It's comedy against comedy, right? There is no straight man.
So it's
there.
just like it feels kind
so
of silly in
work
general.
for me.
Right,
it's just too much comedy, exactly. Right?
Otis, I was saying he's kind of reverted back to heavy machinery Otis, basically.
And he's looking bigger than ever too. I worry about his health.
He's a big boy, yeah.
He is a big boy. Then we get the match that was made that I did not think was very good, and that was Roxanne Perez with Lash Legend. I don't know if you were still around for this.
I think I saw a bit.
I don't.
It was mid. I think this is when I left.
It wasn't terrible, but Lash has a ways to go still, right? Like she's impressive looking. She's really big. She's former WNBA. I think she's the one.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So her size and athleticism are good, but she's not a wrestler yet, right? And it feels like she's been there long enough that she should be better than this.
She's been here the entire 2.0 era, and then she's lasted since then.
So she surprisingly, Lash that is, ends up getting the win here with her boot that I do think looks good, a power bomb that looked a little less good. It's because Kiana James interferes in the match to sort of further her issues with Roxanne Perez. It also eliminates the big, like, is Roxanne going to win it twice in a row? So we kind of get rid of that narrative to focus on someone else, which is probably good. My final note here, 5 minutes of meh, basically. Okay. Then we get another thing I wasn't a huge fan of. It was Xia Li invites Lyra Valkyria to a Warrior Tea ceremony.
Which already sounds like something horrible WWE is going to botch, let me just say.
So it really wasn't anything. It was Lyra shows up, they bow to each other. Xia talks about like the deeper the bow, the deeper respect sort of thing, blah, blah, blah. Then they sit down. She starts talking about the tea and its symbolism of whatever it is. And then at the end of the day, Lyra refuses to drink the tea. And it just was like nothing really happened and there was nothing really interesting. It was just, I don't think, like, both of them sounded fine. And I was actually impressed with Xia Li because I don't remember hearing her speak that much. So she did fine.
In the Tian Sha days.
But the ceremony didn't feel as important as they tried to make us like this was some big pre-warrior thing. But it was just two people brewing tea while she tries to make vague connections to how the tea represents their situation. And then one doesn't drink the tea. They get some marks for trying to do something unique ahead of a match, but like the execution, it was a miss for me. Like it was just kind of there. It wasn't interesting at all. And then we get a segment where it's Carmelo. I think they were talking to Mackenzie and Trick's there too. And Trick says he passed a lie detector test regarding the attack on Trick. And then when Mackenzie tries to like follow up, he like quickly changes the subject. So they're still doing a really good job of like, yep, I'm definitely not the one that attacked it, but then there's like a little evidence,
like a bit of
little mystery still to it. So it seems like Trick and Mello are back on the same page at this point. But again, there's that just underlying little bit of he probably still did it, and it's really working for me. Ariana Grace is funny. Her character, she's doing the beauty queen, and sort of she's a heel, obviously, and she's just condescending and privileged, and it's working because she gets involved with Dolan backstage. And what was her line? Something like, I'm used to working with the less fortunate, or something along
fits Dolan,
like basically like you're poor and I'm sort of like that sort of thing. So they had a match later on in the that I thought was just okay. Dolan won with a really weak kid. Oh yeah, I put a really weak head kick and a finisher that does not look impactful.
It's like her weird like Paige Turner variant that it's kind of crucifix looking, and it was honestly like Sky Blue's Code Blue, so it's kind of like a rolling stop.
It was like from a low angle, so not impactful, and mostly on the shoulder, not like the back of the neck.
It looks like she kind of like rolled off of Gigi and then like kind of hit the mat, but like it didn't look like all the impact was on the mat.
Yeah.
Like when she hit the mat, there wasn't much impact.
It wasn't great. Braun and Dijak had an interaction, and Braun had one memorable line, right? He said he would leave Dijak, quote, begging for retribution, which is funny. Worked into that, like the double entendre there is really good, right? Yeah. Like on its face, I'm gonna hurt you so bad you're gonna want retribution, but also reference
for those who know,
right, of that group. Trick and Joe Coffey was the Iron Survivor male one, and it was okay for the most part. I thought it was a bit slow at times. A couple parts in it weren't the cleanest. Trick ended up winning with his high knee, but it was like Coffey was going for his discus clothesline, whatever it's called.
Best for the bells or something.
And he went really slow because clearly he's supposed to turn into this knee. So you know what I mean? It was just like he definitely
Trick's knee never really connects that good either.
And it's clear Joe wasn't turning the way he would turn if he was actually going to hit the clothesline. So that just bugs me a little bit. But there was, I told you, a clever spot. So Wolfgang gets up on the apron, right? He's causing a distraction. Mello's down on the floor supporting Trick. So he's got a hold of Wolfgang's ankle. But at the same time, you can see Trick is building steam to come in and run in and knock Wolfgang off the apron. And it's beautiful. It's really well done because Mello is looking right at Trick while holding onto this ankle. And you could easily argue, he waits until Trick has committed to pull Wolfgang down. Mm-hmm. And then when Wolfgang's not there, Trick's momentum sends him out to the floor, right?
Right.
And then I think right after that, too, Mello's standing right there with Trick, and he doesn't pull Trick out of the way of a dive. I don't know if that was later at the same time. But anyways, when you go back and look at it, it's really believable that either...
Like he could be doing it on purpose.
He could be doing it on purpose to screw over Trick, but maybe not, sort of thing. So I thought that was really good, and the best part of this, probably. You saw this. My only note says Lexus King is not good in my opinion.
Oh, I just can't stop staring at his face.
The facial hair gets you, right?
It's brutal.
So he interacted backstage with Corbin, and say what you will about Corbin, I think he sounds really comfortable on the mic. So
Corbin's a pro.
In contrast, I think, like in direct comparison, I think King sounds like he just isn't believable to me at this point in whatever he's trying to do. He's still trying to tease that he might have attacked Trick, and I appreciate that because we're leaving that door open, right? That we're like, we're 80% sure it's Mello, but maybe it's not, sort of thing, right? So keeping that alive. Brawling Brutes versus Out the Mud. You watch this. I
like Butch.
I like this more than I thought I would. I'm going to be fairly complimentary of Out the Mud in this their...
Can you just use their names, please? Thank
for
you.
their...
they have names.
OTM is better,
that just reminds me that they have that name.
So this started out well because Pete Dunne started in. I actually wrote Dunne in my notes too.
Well, that's because I don't even like acknowledging him as Butch.
And I thought I always just end up turning to you going, he's so good.
Pete Dunne
he's so good.
That's why it angers me that he's not Pete Dunne, because
here we go.
Okay. I have to. It's impulsion at this point, but just when he does the 10 beats of the battering like that Sheamus does, that, or just some of Butch's mannerisms, or this fight night, the thing that Brawling Bruce, it's so not Pete Dunne, and it annoys me because he's pretty much wrestling like Pete Dunne for the most part. I would say he's wrestling like Pete Dunne.
I think so too.
And that's what makes him great, because like you said, and we know we share the same sentiment that Pete Dunne is fantastic.
He is. He's amazing.
He's amazing, and that's why it angers me, because he's stuck in this Butch character, because he's capable of so much more. I think, especially in the latter days of Black and Gold, he really started to nail his promo work. Because he had that title feud with Finn Balor.
We ended up liking really all of his speaking roles for the last
he ended up doing really good, and so it especially because he's in phenomenal shape still.
I'm fine if he stays here with Ridge Holland, but he becomes the leader of their team. I don't mind their team together. Honestly.
But I honestly think if they revert back, because they teamed together in NXT,
but Pete Dunne should not be a lackey in any group.
Pete Dunne shouldn't be a lackey, and Pete Dunne should not be Butch.
Right.
Pete Dunne should be Pete Dunne, but back to the match.
So, OTM took over, and they
I thought they looked okay. I thought my only complaint about them, or I guess my main complaint about them, was just most of their tag offense was just them hitting them. The only tag offense I remember from them was when Nima had Dunn up in a suplex and he dropped him a knee from Price. That was alright, but I would like more tag offense from them. I get why they didn't, and hopefully they'll work to that.
I told you they remind me of early AOP, when AOP weren't, because they ended up being, I thought, pretty good, but to start out they weren't. But their presentation was, listen, these guys are huge, and Out the Mud are both really big dudes.
I find Price particularly interesting, just the way he works.
They work slow, and they keep it simple, and they hit the odd high impact thing, and I think it's really smart, and it's working for them.
Having Dunn sell for them is good too, because Dunn's really got some underrated selling. Like he's awesome. He's really good.
He's with a total package.
Yeah,
he's not Lex Luger, but he's better than Lex Luger.
Once they see that, or like once Triple H gets him going more, or Michaels or whoever it's got to be, Dunn can totally just do. He can be so much more for sure. I think OTM need to ditch Scripps at some point though, because Scripps really doesn't do anything for them.
And he
doesn't fit with them
work
either.
for me. He's too tainted with the Reggie stuff, and I know
Reggie and Scripps.
And I know he tried to explain that away, but he just drew more attention to it for me.
Even visually, it just doesn't. It just doesn't work. Like these two imposing bruisers, and they're like being like quote unquote led by this small acrobat dude.
Right.
Like that doesn't work for me.
I agree. And I'm fine with Dunn as like the technician and Holland as the powerhouse. That's not a bad combination for a tag team, but
and have Dunn turn on him.
Dunn needs to be the leader of the group. And the Brawling Brutes won with their team finisher. That I don't even know.
It was basically just like an elevated DDT.
Wasn't super impressive. Then you saw this as well. Joe Gacy's really close to the camera again, cutting a promo.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I never
get what it was.
I never noticed clothing really, but because it was a departure for him, because he's always
wearing plaid or
he
something?
was wearing like blue flannel plaid, blue
yeah.
or purple. I'm colorblind, but it's one of those.
I think it was blue.
I'm gonna go with blue.
I don't think I've ever seen purple flannel.
But anyways, it turns out he's on the roof of the PC filming this promo into his phone.
Is this where he's been for all of them, or is it just this one?
No, I think just this one. And then he says he's not. Here's a whole bunch of things he's not. And then he describes like many of the current characters on the show. I forget specifically who he referred to. But like, I'm not this, like this. And like, oh, he's talking about that person. He's talking about that person. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he says this is where he begins. And then he throws his phone off the roof and it's still recording as it like crashes to the ground.
Strange.
So again, it's just been several weeks now of him. And again, he sounds good, but he's not really revealing anything other than, hey, I'm being rebooted.
No,
but we don't know what it is.
It was like, obviously it's a new direction, but I can't really tell what any of it is.
It's not annoyingly cryptic at this point, but it's still like another segment where we're not giving anything further. Then we get, I actually like this. It was the Wagner Stone backstory about how they were signed on the same day. I think you were here for that, right?
Yeah, I saw it. It was okay. I still hate Wagner.
And it was just of them sort of growing closer together and their paths to like where they are now. And I like the one thing that it helps the story with Wagner and Braun, where they compare Braun. They say he's like one of Vaughn's bullies from childhood.
Yeah, that's
right. So I like that.
Draw, yeah,
that helps. I thought the segment itself was really cool with the really high quality voiceover, and then they went to a little live segment with Vaughn and Stone and Vaughn.
That was okay.
The acting by Vaughn in the live part is not good, right?
That ain't it.
But I like the story they're telling, and I do the Braun as a represents bullies from childhood is a good. So it looks like they're teasing something because he keeps touching the scar on his head, right? So I feel like we're gonna get.
It reminds me of like, it's funny. I don't know if you'll remember, but when we
it feels
watched,
like a PCO thing to me almost.
Well, it's so remember when we watched the first season of Bad Batch, and there's the one episode where and then where Wrecker
evil?
his brain chip malfunctioned because there was the whole Order 66 thing, and then he went like all crazy on him for a second.
Yeah,
it reminded me of that. So it's like it's funny because it's like it reminds me of real life Order 66, which is not.
I feel like that's kind of where they're going. That's gonna maybe he goes super mega.
I think
monster
it's
heel.
I don't know. It'll be done. It depends on how they do it because that has the potential to be really stupid.
But to do all this work to get him as a over babyface, like the whole table thing is working for him. To just have him switch back seems.
No, I don't.
Though they love to flip big guys back and forth, right? So
Big Show.
Kane
too.
Right? Like crazy. Okay, Eddie Thorpe is back he's had to recover from his wounds from the strap match he had. I think he still sounds unconvincing in this thing. I didn't
like it. I hate his earrings.
Gulak
horrible.
Gulak shows up here and apparently he says whatever, so that's going to be the rehab win for Eddie Thorpe, obviously, probably next week, I would guess. We get Andre Chase at like a surprise press conference outside because of the scandal. Again, I was like, really?
I don't see that.
I don't get where the scandal comes from. But JC Jane drives up and is like, get in, and he gets in to escape the pressure of the press, I guess, because the press are all over Chase U, and they drive away together. And the main event was Wes Lee in his sort of return, taking on Baron Corbin. I thought this was a nice contrast to styles, right? You've got Corbin, who's going to be slow and steady and hit high impact stuff, and Wesley flying all over the place. So you got a really nice looking deep six on the floor. I think you were around for that part, maybe.
Yeah.
And Corbin catches Lee coming through the ropes. To hit that deep six. He kind of has wrist control and almost swings Lee around into a nice looking clothesline and then hits some good looking elbows into Lee's head in the corner. Like, Corbin keeps it simple, but I think he's effective in this role, especially in NXT.
Absolutely.
Lee hits basically what's a 619 around the ring post out on the floor. Then we get Dom saves Corbin from a Wesley dive.
I think I was here for this because we watched it after the Impact main event.
That's right. And then when Wes gets back in the ring, he walks right into the end of days, and Baron Corbin wins, which is a little surprising considering it was Lee coming back, right? And Corbin's one of those I don't need to win that much kind of guys. Anyways,
but I guess they're heating him up for Dragunov.
Exactly, because Dragunov does come down right then. Corbin ends up countering the Torpedo Moscow into the end of days. Dragunov gets a mic from somewhere and basically says he's giving Corbin the title match at Deadline, which I'm sure is just a placeholder match, right? And I actually want to see because I don't mind Baron Corbin, but like Dragunov could possibly pull something great out of him. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Right? Or maybe great's a really strong word, but really good anyways. So I thought the match was good. Corbin was in control for long stretches. Lee gets several flurries along the way, as you would expect that match to go. And it's just the athleticism of Lee's impressive. Corbin does what he does, and it was an outcome I didn't expect. So it makes sense. It's furthering Dom and Wes Lee's story as well as Corbin and Dragunov's, I guess. Then we move to Impact. The opener was a pretty decent tag team match. 7 minutes. It saw ABC defend their titles against Kenny King and Sheldon Jean, is it?
Yeah.
It's going to be like Sydney Jean, Sheldon Jean. Decent action, pretty quick. No way King and Jean were winning, especially as I talked about in the news. Kenny King's released, so don't think
released, or is it like
asked for and granted?
Oh, okay.
Is what the news was. MK Ultra, I think I was telling you in the moment, might be the coolest women's tag team of all time. They had a vignette here in their creepy, dark, like ambiguously gay, I would almost say, style that I find absolutely fascinating. And Masha speaks Russian the whole time. Killer Kelly speaks English. I just love the presentation of this group, and then you get them in the ring, and they're absolute ass kickers too. So they are. There's just no competition for them, right?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
It's a worthless division.
It seems to be the problem. I think what we need to do is have a women's tag team division that is all the companies together. It seems like the only way we're gonna have a decent
I wish
pool,
they could do that. Yeah,
because there's not enough tag teams in any one company to pull it off.
Even WWE could if they actually tried. Like, they have the numbers to do it.
But they don't respect tag team wrestling. I think if you add women's to it, that moves it down even further for them. So they just don't care.
Yeah,
they're like, anyone good, we're not going to waste them. Like, I mean, maybe it's changing with Triple H, but Vince was always, why would I put a star in a tag team? Right? Like, why wouldn't I just not do that sort of thing? Unfortunately. Moose and Heath had a basic 6-minute match. Moose won with a spear. It was there. It didn't really grab my attention at all. And then, speaking of fresh, Rhino comes out and saves Heath from a post-match beatdown. So
why isn't he out there with Heath? Aren't they a tag team?
No, they're not. Like, I don't even think they are anymore. But they're just like, oh, we have nothing for either of them to do, so we just circle back around to this. My thing is just release both of them at this point and move on. But anyways, nope, because Moose gets on the mic and he's going to end Rhino's career at Final Resolution. Fine by me. No offense to Rhino, but I'm good for Rhino and Heath at this point in 2023. It's a match that no one asked for. I can't, like, that's hard for me. I like Moose and all, but Moose Rhino, no.
Not enticing.
Not taking my money. Then there was a fun 6-man lucha match. Were you around for that? I showed you the finish at least.
Yeah, I saw Black Taurus actually winning.
I was super happy with the finish. So it's the Rascals taking on Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, and Juventud. And Myron,
as you do,
right?
Hoovy.
Myron Reed making his in-ring debut in Impact as part of the Rascals. Remember the head scissors Taurus hit that I had to rewind?
Yeah, it was really fast, TRS.
But he almost switched from like looking like he was going to do something else, and then in midair.
Well, because it's like,
plus he's
I think it's because you're used to Cassidy doing the tornado DDT, because usually they do a head scissors like that, right? Because it's the same starting motion, but I think because you're used to that.
And he's like 260 pounds or whatever. It looks crazy.
Taurus is insane.
One of Reed's signatures, I forget what it's called, something flame, I think, hot flame maybe. It's basically opponents on the apron, so he leaps over the ropes from inside, hits a cutter to the guy on the apron to the floor. So that's kind of interesting. Tarus he does this a lot, but this one was huge. A pop-up Samoan drop. He launches the guy so high and catches him so clean. I forget which Rascal it was. Looked awesome. Rascals do their usual lightning quick synchronized stuff that always looks good. The finish that I showed you, we had Myron Reed hits a cutter, goes for a springboard, probably crossbody, but Tarus catches him with a nice spear out of midair and then follows up with the Destination Hellhole, which you need to push Tarus just for that so that he can win matches.
It's like a drill claw.
It's awesome. So he pins Myron Reed, which I thought, Tarus winning is surprising.
B, Myron Reed's new.
Taking the pin in his sort of in-ring debut.
I would have thought they would win just because he's new, but he actually took the pin too, which is equally surprising.
So only 12 minutes, lots of action, not a ton of selling because they were squeezing so much into this relatively short match. I love Tarus. Like, I think he's like a special talent that I'm super happy he picked up the win and that he got to show that finisher because it's devastating looking. And yeah, surprise Reed took the pin. And Lucha Rule's a nice change of pace. Then we got another, I thought, just really generic, non-standout match. It was Jordan Grace and Bully Ray taking on Steve Macklin and Kylan King.
Because Bully Ray's gone soft.
And Macklin's back is still destroyed from the last match he had where there was barbed wire and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And he barely did anything in this match, so I don't know if he's fully recovered. He did not do much, but this was more storyline. It was could Grace and Bully Ray coexist sort of thing. Basically, Jordan Grace hit a really nice flurry at the end of this. She hit the Grace driver to Kylan King, but it was not the cleanest. A little bit nervous. It looked a little scary, like in a bad way scary. And I look forward to a Grace King match with some stakes attached at some point. So at the end of it, it's Bully Ray holding the Call Your Shot cup. Is that what it is? That Grace
Call Your
has.
Shot gauntlet thingy.
Grace snatches it. Bully ends up shaking her hand and raising her hand in victory. So they can coexist and they respect each other.
Can they coexist? Yeah.
So Bully went from the most, and he's another one that they've just sort of stopped on a dime and turned him to a babyface now. And he's still, I don't care, but whatever. I did not enjoy
despite all the things he did with Josh Alexander and Tommy Dreamer.
Right.
Just
exactly.
Babyface.
Yeah. Another just really short match on this show, I guess, making room for the main event, which is fine if that's what we get out of it. But it was a 7-minute match with Trinity facing Sunny Kiss. I didn't really like it. This was all about like flashy, not impactful, like using your butt and blowing kisses at each other. Not a ton of, you know what my issue.
What would you expect?
And that's the thing that commentary talked about their styles being so similar, and I don't really like Trinity's style, and I felt like Sunny Kiss was leaning into that more than usual as well. Trinity won with the Bubba Bomb, which I think is a weak finisher. I know you think that too.
That's not something you win with.
No,
like if I'm taking just a straight like mat bump, the one thing I would land on is probably my ass.
Right.
Other than maybe my feet, preferably.
Right. No, it's an interesting choice.
It's a horrible choice.
Just a barrage of flashy, non-impactful stuff. Very sports entertainment, not a lot of wrestling, so not my preferred style. And I've liked Sunny Kiss in the past, but
I like the time that they got killed by Kenny Omega in the first Eliminator tournament. That was really funny.
And I really hope the belt gets shifted from Trinity to Jordan Grace, or if it has to be Kylan King down the road. But
yeah,
the Trinity experiment is
someone new, it could be
not
Kylan
great
King,
for me.
Right?
Yep. Main event, which I paused and waited for you to get back from work for so that we could watch the thing in its entirety. And that
it was badminton.
Or badminton, sorry. Josh Alexander taking on Will Ospreay. So this got 21 minutes. Ospreay won with a really nice Stormbreaker.
Picture perfect Stormbreaker.
After a second the first hidden blade he hit was
that he smushed him.
Absolutely looked like he decapitated him. But
yeah.
This match was awesome. Ospreay at one point tweaks his leg. What's that top rope twisting moonsault thing he does?
Leap of faith.
And he landed on his feet.
That caught me off guard.
And sold the heck out of really hurting himself there, I thought.
Yeah, because Alexander went to the ankle lock at least like 5 times.
Yeah. Ospreay hit his crazy backbreaker. Alexander a bit later hit his powerbomb backbreaker that I think looks awesome. Like I said, the first hidden blade, Ospreay hits it on the run to a running Alexander, and it looked absolutely amazing. Alexander countered something with a spinning tombstone for a near fall that looked really good.
There's a lot of good knee selling from
Ospreay,
and like good job selling the ankle lock, because there was the one time he went for the Oz cut and he had to hesitate. The one time he ran for the hidden blade and he collapsed. Like there's a lot of good work, like putting over Alexander's move, right?
And a lot of Alexander countering and going right into the ankle lock again and again, right? So lots of awesome action near the end of this, especially fantastic competitive main event. Another like great match for Ospreay to add to that list from 2023. And
yeah,
the
and
fact
he just he goes full tilt. Even this is like what, a 20-minute TV match, and he's still going full tilt.
Whatever it is, 100,000 people watching it.
Yeah,
and he's still like just doing what he does,
doing as good as he would anywhere else.
He has to be a strong candidate for Wrestler of the Year. And listen, Impact over the past few weeks has had some amazing TV matches. If you're not an Impact person, Bailey, Ospreay, amazing. Gresham, Alex Shelley.
That one was pay-per-view, but
oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Gresham, Alex Shelley, fantastic. Ospreay, Alexander, awesome. What was the other TV one then? There's Alexander Bailey, was that an hour?
That was last year.
Yeah. Anyways, they have some really good TV matches. Yes, some of their stuff is not super interesting, now just glancing, because I have it open, my best and worst of this year, because we're getting close to the end of the year. Like the last 3 matches on my list right now are Ospreay, Alexander, Ospreay, Umino, Ospreay, Mike Bailey. So Ospreay, I wonder who's my front runner for this.
I couldn't tell you who I'm picking. I don't
right?
I honestly don't know.
And then we got Ospreay Omegas on there as well.
My favorite match of all time.
Quite enjoyed.
My literal favorite match ever.
So actually, we have
I could add this one.
Omega Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom too.
Right, there's both.
The fact that it's like Ospreay in New Japan, Ospreay in AEW, Ospreay in Impact, having
as an Impact fan, everywhere. I think we should put one of Ospreay's matches in there. Which one would you pick between Bailey and Alexander? Because I like them both too. So I like
Bailey better. I'm
Bailey
not gonna
better.
lie.
Okay, so yeah. I'll add that one to the list, and then I think we've got a sufficient match of the year list. I won't say that now. Obviously, that's for the when we do the show.
Like it's like I would say Alexander Ospreay was like 4.25, and I think Bailey I would probably say 4.5. So I liked it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, this was a really good match, and I'm glad because they after Bound for Glory they ran it on like the Fallout show, the untelevised thing. They were touting this one as first time televised, sure, but
right.
And so I was like, that's weird that they would throw away that match there, but I would obviously assume that's a practice run, which is good because this match was superb for a TV match.
It was, and like Josh Alexander is world class. Like he happens to work in Impact Wrestling,
but that's
which is
almost
like
good
a tertiary
he gets
company.
To be a top guy. I hope that when TNA comes back, and hopefully that means they do become bigger. Hopefully it's what they promised it to be, right? I hope that he's kind of at the forefront of that.
Mm-hmm. I want him sign with AEW, reform the North,
and
would
just love the North in
run that
AEW.
team. And he stands there silently, and Ethan Page flaps his gums.
Oh, the North would be so good.
And it's just the dream. And then we
give them a year-long run with the Tech House, and the North would be so good. And Tony Khan, if you like paying for music, pay Impact whatever you need to do to get them Josh Alexander.
Get off your
North
wallet.
Theme.
Yeah.
Okay, because the North theme is amazing. It's probably my favorite Impact theme. Although Moose's is really good for it fits him perfectly.
Yes.
But the North theme is awesome. But yes, because what's Ethan Page doing?
I want him in that tournament.
That would be nice. Yeah, but something for Ethan Page. Justice for Ethan Page.
All right, that ends that segment. I guess we've got a preview. I
got a SmackDown bit.
You do have a SmackDown bit. Sorry, I forgot about Friday.
Oh, I'm on the best of the thing.
What is it?
It was Escobar's heel turn promo. After that whole thing last week, so I really liked it. I saw the whole thing, or at least most of it. He was talking about never meeting your heroes, obviously, which is a natural way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he talked about he was supposed to get the U.S. title, and it was supposed to be him with that shot, whatever. But Ray took it, and that was nice because that's something that also bothered me because that whole debacle was nuts because he got the shot at Theory instead, and then he won it, and then he gave a shot to Escobar, but then he retained. So he also said Ray kind of took over the LWO, brought in Carlito, who he calls an outsider. Good heel logic. I like all this. And I don't know. I like all the heel logic he's doing there because it's from his point of view it works.
Yeah,
because he feels in this scenario he's going with he feels betrayed by Ray, and he kind of ruined a good thing they had going or whatever. And it's his idol, and he's making it all about him, right? Yep. And he said Dom was right, which was a good heel move. That's how you get booed. He said Dominic was right, so that was smart. I think Ray got actual surgery, so he's out for a little. I think we're getting Escobar and Carlito at Survivor Series. I've heard it's rumored that they'll do some faction thing eventually where it's I think Legado will turn heel again, which is good because I like Legado.
Escobar's awesome.
So yeah, I hope Del Toro and Wild join back with him, and then you can have them fight Ray and Carlito and whoever else. And Zelina Vega can do whatever. She can go away. I don't really care. I'm happy Escobar's getting attention. Yeah, heel Escobar is what we need to be. This is the Escobar I like to see in NXT, so this is good. Yeah.
Yep, awesome. Okay, so we're going into a preview, I think, right?
Yes.
Of tonight's AEW pay-per-view that they like to call Full Gear. All right, it's another one I haven't put a lot of thought into, and I'm not even 100% sure I know what all the matches are.
I have put fair thought. Well, there's going to be a fair amount because it's AEW.
Right. Are we including the pre-show? Probably should, right?
3 pre-show matches.
All right, let's do it.
First one is the big one, which is MJF and Samoa Joseph versus the Guns for the ROH tag titles. I told you earlier I was initially going to pick different, but now that they confirmed the partner, I'm fairly confident it's MJF and Samoa Joe. I would like to see the Guns get the win because I do like them, and I would like them to have something, but I'm going to go with the title retention. It just feels like the likely route.
I think so too. Now that I'm glad it's not going to be a 2-on-1 because I still probably would have thought MJF retains, and I don't like that look for anyone.
This helps the Guns out.
It does. Sure. So I was saying the retention for MJF as well.
Random pre-show match I just saw when we were in between segments. Buddy Matthews versus Claudio Castagnoli. That's crazy.
That's cool.
I feel like Claudio will win here. I'd love to be wrong, but it just doesn't feel like
just based on their positioning, and I don't feel an imminent push for Buddy, unfortunately.
Yeah, no,
but yeah, it could
which
be.
Sucks.
Could be like a show stealer type of thing, right?
So it could be like that one.
I mean, they probably won't get that much time.
One trios match on the Revolution pre-show that was awesome, which was what? It was Penta, Pac, and Eric Rowan versus House of Black, which was really good for some reason.
It was
on a pre-show. Yeah, so that has potential to be an awesome pre-show.
I think
match.
So.
Yeah, and then Eddie Kingston versus Jay Lethal for the ROH World Title because this is an ROH mini show, I guess.
Obviously,
I don't see Eddie losing here. It doesn't feel like a big storyline, and I don't see Lethal as a main event guy in this current faction. Plus, he's had that title before, so he doesn't really need it. So, Eddie.
Just, again, based on the story that's being told for each of them, Lethal's not winning here. No. Eddie retains.
I don't think anyone
that also could be a really good match, too.
Could be pretty good,
I really like
Lethal's
be a
sleeper
style.
Hit, yeah.
Yeah.
Main card now, we're going to start with Copeland, Sting, and Darby versus Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. I think the easy likely pick is the babyface team. Edge is still new. Sting really loses, so it's a lock, right?
Sting does not lose.
But I see an opportunity to pull a swerve here, and I say through some shenanigans, Christian manages to pin Edge and further that storyline. You can keep Sting, whatever, but give Christian his due. Give him his flowers, damn it.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah.
You said the thing I love.
I'm gonna bet on Christian here. Just why not?
Go ahead. I'll take Sting.
Okay. I'm just gonna write Sting for yours, and that'll
because
suffice.
Sting.
Because Sting.
Basically.
Golden Jets, Young Bucks. I call it team split versus title shot. I really hope the Bucks win here. But the safe bet's the Golden Jets, and I'm unfortunately I kind of have to go with that. I just don't. It feels like that's what they would do, right?
Yes.
So I want to pick the Bucks, but I'm
taking.
Not going to.
I agree with everything you just said. I don't think. And the Bucks can lose and get more mad and be more.
I'd love to be wrong.
So
I would love to be wrong. Yes, and they can grow a mustache.
Right.
Next we get
Spite Stash.
Spite Stash. Sheeta.
Suspicious.
Sheeta versus Toni Storm for the Women's World Title. Contrary to what I've seen other people say, I think Sheeta should retain here. Yes, she hasn't been an amazing champion yet, but that's exactly why she needs more time so we can flesh out her character and get her some good title defense. She deserves a better run than what she's had this year.
Agree.
And additionally, I personally think a loss would add to Toni's character. It would help her spiral more, and then she can do some insane crap with Mariah May if she wants. I think it would help her, and personally for me, if they want to interest me, I think her losing is more interesting.
So I'm like 60-40.
I think Storm could win. I just don't.
I do too.
Think
I'm
she
actually
will.
60 that Sheeta retains, but I'll take Storm just to make things interesting because I think it's pretty
it's kind
almost
of a
coin toss.
Next we have the tag title match, which I'm gonna have to. Okay, there we go. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus FTR versus LFI, which I think is Rush and Jalistico, because why would you put Preston Vance in a ladder match?
Fair.
Versus Kings of the Black Throne, and 4-way tag ladder match for the tag titles. Seeing as this one was mostly built on Collision, I don't have any strong feelings about this any which way at all. For some people, I feel like the general opinion is that this could go either way, especially with it being a ladder match. I feel like that does add some unpredictability to it for sure.
It does.
I do kind of feel like it's an easy way to get the belts off of Starks and Bill, especially now they don't even have to get pinned. Like in a 4-way, they don't have to get pinned, but no one has to get pinned. Because why are the belts on them in the first place?
But why would they be on any of the other teams?
I don't know.
Are they better options?
I would argue any of them are better options.
But just in terms of how they've been presented lately, I don't know. That's
I
what
don't know.
makes
House of Black have come back and they've been dominant. LFI just came back and they've been looking decent in FTR. So
I guess
I would argue any of them look better. But I saw an interesting idea when I was reading What Culture's predictions, and I think that like there's a potential House of Black could walk out with multiple belts here tonight. And I think that's an interesting idea. I think Brody and Malachi would be a killer tag team, monster champions, and they could defend the tag titles. Here's my idea: under house rules, they could do the Freebird rule, but they are obviously title
that they
it their
abandon
own.
in a week.
Right? No, but like this would be like the different way, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But like they've got a ready-made like version of that. Not 100%, but let's show House of Black some love. And get these damn belts back on Dynamite. Why are they hiding on Collision? Why can't they like? They're never on Dynamite anymore. Like I forgot about the tag titles. So give me the tag titles on Dynamite, and I'm gonna take House of Black, which is a risky pick, but why not?
I'll say they retain Big Bill and Starks. I just don't feel like there's any reason for any movement in this division because they're not doing anything right now. So they'll just be like holding pattern.
Which is weird because I like Big Bill, but he sucks.
Okay. He's okay. He's fine as a tag team guy.
Statlander, Hart, Sky Blue, TBS title. Keeping with what I just said, I feel like it's gonna be Julia Hart here. Not because I want her to, but because I feel like that's what they're doing. She's been getting decently pushed
for sure.
Yeah, but like not massively.
So I'm just seeing like she's on the rise and Statlander's plateaued.
Statlander's plateaued. I feel like this title's kind of cursed because Jade plateaued heavily. Statlander's plateaued.
I feel like they've
been that's part of it. But like that might be the curse is that they just don't try with this belt.
They forget about you. Makes you invisible.
But yeah, so they built Hart decently before Wrestle Dream. They had her mini undefeated streak. She's got this nonsense with Sky Blue. I feel like Sky Blue could turn here. Not saying I want her to, not saying I care, but I'm saying that's probably going to happen. So I'm going to say Julia Hart wins here. Get some belts on the house.
I think Julia Hart wins too, just based on trajectory.
Yep.
Alone.
Absolutely.
And yes. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think that's what's happening.
Next we got Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland in a Texas death match.
This one's tough.
I think it could go either way. I think it's
agree.
like the first match. I think it could go either way, but I think Hangman has to win here. He's been extremely fired up in this feud ever since the House Invasion, and I think all this drive and aggression can't be for nothing. I think he's super into it, and it can't be just like for him to come up short. Additionally, he can tie up the feud, and we can get a blow off at World's End. Right? Yes, it's Texas Death, but we all know there has to be a tiebreaker unless Swerve wins both, which I don't think he will. Hangman is also, I saw pointed out, he's undefeated in Texas Death matches, and clearly losses don't damage Swerve if he gets to look good, which we know he will in this kind of match. So I'm going with Hangman. We get a third match. These guys are awesome. It's going to be sick.
I will take Swerve on the upswing, and that Page the loss can feed more into his like conflicted self-doubting sort of gimmick that he does so well. And I just don't think selfishly you do anything to cool off Swerve right now. That's me. That's maybe not them.
I think Swerve can win the blow off, and then he's on the up from there.
Yeah.
But then he can start the new year hot. But like
I just want to keep that trajectory.
Give Hangman his W.
So I'll take Swerve.
All right, we'll differ.
Yep.
Next we got Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International title. This is the one that feels most up in the air to me. I feel like this one is more than any of them could go either way. Based on what's happened with this title, I feel like I thought it could go either way last time.
I feel strongly in one direction, and I'm not even sure why. But I'll let you go first.
I feel like
it won't change.
It could go either way, but on one hand, you can course correct with the whole concussion thing. Have Mox beat Cassidy again to give him the title, and he would have already been having. Or you can change that and have Cassidy finally overcome Mox and embark on another epic run, eventually culminating putting over someone who could release a big title win. Swerve Strickland. My pick and my pitch remains the same as it was at All Out. The big win cements Cassidy as champion. Mox doesn't need the title, except this time there's an added layer of Cassidy needs to avenge himself. He had that promo the other week. He said he needs to beat Moxley to be the champion he needs to be, and I think that's an excellent story to tell. I love Moxley. He's my boy. He's always going to be my favorite, but I'm once again going to put all my eggs in the OC basket, and I'm pulling for Cassidy to get the win here once again.
See, unfortunately, for the interest of people, I agree, and I feel strongly that it's Cassidy, and I'm not even. You may have expressed the reasons that are.
I feel like we share a similar sentiment. I mean, yes. I might feel more strongly about it, but I feel like we generally think similar here.
It just feels like Cassidy's perfect for this belt at this level, and that Moxley doesn't need it. He's. I don't want to say bigger and better things, but you know what I mean. He's
just above it. And
This is Cassidy's niche perfectly.
Yeah, Moxley can survive and do great things without this belt or any belt. But
the match should be amazing.
This match should be awesome. Cassidy is perfect with this belt. This belt's perfect for him, and I think this him losing the belt is still a big deal because of how much he cares about it. I think you give him a few more months with the belt, and then someone like Swerve, who's big but needs that next level, can beat Cassidy.
It's the first thing the guys cared about in like 4 years in this company, so I assume he's.
I think they told such a great story with that, so I definitely think that he needs to win.
Me too.
Finally, we get MJF versus Jay White for the AEW World Title. I would really love for White to win this one. I think we both said that. I would love that. I will be deep down. I'll be pulling for him the whole time. However, I don't have full confidence he will with everything going on with MJF. I just feel like he has to retain here. I don't know who's going to be him, and I just don't think it'll be Switchblade. At least not right now. His time's going to come, but it's not yet. Unfortunately,
I agree. The match again should be really good. MJF's had nothing but strong matches,
and Jay White's stellar.
And so this is going to, I think the point of this is going to be to establish Jay White to people that don't know him that well, that this is a main event dude.
All they need to do, really.
Right. And then he's positioned like, I don't want to say back burner, but he's at that level waiting to just be heated up to be a champion. So
because Jay White's, it's like him and Swerve to me are two guys that it's just a matter of time. They're undeniable top caliber. Or top shelf, you might even say.
And I think this is where he showcases that.
This is his first crack, right?
To people that don't know.
A lot of the time, you either win it or you get your first crack and you come back around. I think this is his first crack, and he'll come back around and get it next time, hopefully, whether it's against MJF or not.
Yep, here's hoping. It should be a really good show. A lot of matches I want to show. I think it's going to be long.
I think it'll be long, but
I'll try and stay awake for it all.
I mean, I do have work early time. That's okay. I don't really
I'll see what I can do. What time do you work tomorrow?
8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough.
But that's okay, because I got, a couple of matches here are really good. In particular, surprisingly, the rematches. Hangman Swerve, Mox Cassidy look fantastic.
Nice. All right, well, there's your preview. We're going to move into our final segment. You said there is some stuff to discuss.
There was Ringside Fest.
All right, so we will move into an update on wrestling figures and other stuff in what we call Figuring It Out with Jack. All right, go ahead. What you got?
Bunch of stuff. It was mostly renders, which sucks because then they're coming in a while, but some of it's good.
So that's just like images before they're made?
Digitally rendered
gotcha.
Thingies. This is when you ask what a render is. This is a render, an example of a render. First we got basic 146 Giovanni Vinci in like the navy blue, which will match that Kaiser that was the other week.
I do love Gio Vinci.
Yeah, we like Vinci or Eichner if you want to go back.
Fabian Eichner.
And new articulation. So his first figure being a basic is no longer a horrible thing. It's just a less good thing.
Right.
Then we got Bret Hart in the all pink, which has no logos on. So I feel like this is a Hart Foundation one, probably. I don't know. And then there's one. This one's got
looks like they didn't finish it or something.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like it's missing something. Then this one's black tights with a pink singlet and a black heart.
That looks
both very plain, but that one looks more like it looks like an early Bret Hart. That's like it looks finished. You know what I mean?
Right.
The pink one looks very like just plain.
Yeah.
Then we have Rollins from Elimination Chamber 23, and guess why this one's awesome? Oh, this is basic 147, by the way.
He's wearing white gear.
He is wearing white gear.
I knew it.
And it's awesome. It's got the updated blonde hair. The only crime is that this is a basic because I know within Elite they would do it justice because it's supposed to have the Elite 99 Rollins. It has like that Michael Jackson one that I have. It's like got those molded kick pads with like divots in it. This one's supposed to have that, but I can tell from the basics they're just gonna do it give it like a flat gold paint, which it won't look right. But at least the articulation will be okay. So I will buy it because it's a white Rollins, and I buy a white Rollins even if it's a crappy basic, which I did.
You did.
So,
but they should really consult you on what they're doing.
Like there's a Rollins Elite coming up, and I'll talk about it, but like it should have been the white one or the top picks Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Do the white Rollins and repaint those kick pads because it's not like you have to make a new mold for those special kick pads. Now you can reuse the mold from that Rollins one because they made the unique mold already. It's
right.
Like because
so easy.
The top picks ones usually repaints, which is just you use existing things and they just repaint it, obviously. Right. But anyways, basic 147 we got Katana Chance, which
obviously
is nice. It's all right. The women's basics don't really change much because they've always had the kind of quote unquote improved articulation.
Did they use the child Dominic Mysterio mold for her since they're the same height?
They could have. the basics, especially on the women, I feel like they're so flat. Not like flat like that, but like just the paint after.
That's one
flat.
detail WWE would never leave out.
No,
it's important to them.
But like I think it's basics in general, but I feel like especially with the women's one, sometimes they like. There's just no sculpt on basics most of the time, so it's just like just paint apps, and it's not great usually. Basic 147 Teddy DiBiase, we got black and gold. I think one of these is Money Inc. I think it's that one. I don't know.
Looks like it.
I don't know when Money Inc. was, but then there's the teal one too. They've done elites of this, so now it's just basics. And remember, basics don't suck, so it'll be okay. Then there's Katana Chance in this and 148 to match
Oh yeah.
Or this is Caden Carter. Sorry,
from
Caden
this
Carter
distance, that looks really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The head looks alright. Again, if some of the stuff was sculpted, it would look better. It'll be painted on. So
Money Inc. from February 1992 to August 1993.
I don't know if this is what
There
he
you
looked
go.
like though, because like he looked pretty.
The images I'm seeing are him in the black tuxedo
with a bow tie
with dollar signs on the lapels.
That would add up then.
Yep.
And all right, then we got SummerSlam Elites. SummerSlam 2024 Elites. The Build-A-Figure is John Cone, the referee. That's cool.
His son's a champion.
His son's also a Build-A-Figure in the Mania wave.
Father and son Build-A-Figure.
One of them's a child, so you can
Someone will sell those together.
You can collect severed child parts again.
Sweet.
First we have
match them.
But like just keep the parts from the Dominic and the Nicholas, and then
make
the match
two like weird characters, combine them in strange combinations.
Horrible. That's horrible. We got Undertaker from 2015. I find it funny because he's got the interchangeable laughing head from you know like that gif of like from the match with him and Brock Lesnar where he like sits on, he's doing like that weird laughing face, and it's really weird. They got that head, so I think it's funny that they have that because that's just a strange thing to do.
For some reason, I recently watched, I think it got pushed to me on YouTube, of him making his entrance in the event after Owen Hart is dead, and like clearly they're all struggling. Like you can see,
it might have been the event during because they.
That's what I mean. Sorry, but after Owen's already dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they just
kept as you do. You know, some.
I would love to be in that arena just because the sheer cringe.
I was watching the show live with a friend.
I would even take that because that would.
I stopped watching
insane.
After a while. Because
now
the fact that a man died and you just kept going, I was like, I need a break. So that was one of my only breaks from WWE.
I just saw videos. I think it's like things WWE wish they could take back, and it's like that's so dumb. Just even like but I don't know how they did it so horribly because Michaels did that like 3 years earlier and he was fine. So
yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, we got Kane from 2003. Bald Kane.
Cool. Yeah, that is him.
All right, that's Kane without a mask.
Sure is.
X-Pac. X-Pac. Is it X-Pac?
I say X-Pac, but
X-Pac, right? Okay, I get confused because now there's Pac.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Because they call him Pac sometimes.
Yeah. Well, he is Pac, but he's Pac, and this is X-Pac. See, like, okay. I actually had to do I did a bit of research to figure out which year this was because I figured it was 98, 99, or 2000. This is 98. X-Pac. Actually, also what he looks like in 2K23, so that's fitting. Finally, we got Lex Luger from the time he won by countout and celebrated like he won the title.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which I always find funny. So yeah, it's all American Lex Luger. The only crime is that it doesn't come with a bus, but maybe. Oh my God,
the Lex Express.
If they do, you know how they do those wrecking places. Yep. If they did a wrecking Lex, I would buy a Lex Express.
To have a bus.
Just because it's funny. Yep. I would buy the Lex Express with Lex Luger. That would be funny as hell. Then we got top picks. We got Sheamus, which is a re-release of Elite 97. It's got like the coat and the face mask.
Yep.
It's back from that era.
Oh yeah.
Back when he wore like the weird coat and Ricochet stole it that one time.
Yep. I remember that.
There's
feud over stolen clothing. I love those. You have to face me to get it back.
Lafitte.
Yeah.
Repo Man. There's Cody Rhodes in dark red tights. I think this is 2K23. I couldn't find the date for it because it doesn't really matter, but that's nice. Then there's Logan Paul from Mania 39 in the yellow and blue. I actually really like the way this looks. So if I was going to get a Logan Paul,
it looks good.
I'd probably get this one. So I actually might get it because I think it looks really nice. And it's from the Rollins match. So
yeah.
I really like that one, actually. So even though it's Logan Paul, I think it looks really nice. I mean, hey, Logan Paul sucks, but he can wrestle and his figures look good. That's different, you know?
Yep.
Next, then we got Rhea Ripley from Mania 39. You want to guess why this one's good?
Why?
She's in the white.
White
we love it.
Again.
That's nice. It's from the match that you really like.
I did really like it.
I have to watch that still.
You fell asleep.
I passed out. I still have to watch that. Dominic Mysterio from 109. Oh, yeah. So Ripley's Elite 110. Dominic is Elite 109. It's almost the exact same as they just put out Judgment Day Dom in 105, but he's got like the convict. He'll come with the convict figure, so that's nice.
That's funny.
After he got arrested, so that'll be cool. They showed images, not renders, for the Three Faces of Foley 3-pack, which looks really nice. So I like that. There's that, and then they've got their individual boxes too, like
nice.
And they've all got backdrops, and it's the same package as the Walter I have there, because the ringside exclusives tend to have like that rectangular packaging, so that keeps in form. Elite 108, LA Knight, and red trunks. That looks very nice. And he's got the basic already, which again, basics don't suck. So
that's good.
That'll tide you over. Then we got Seth Rollins. This one's really nice, but it's not in the white. It's in the gold from, I think, Money in the Bank with Balor, and it's got the new belt. So I'm going to have to get the new belt.
Nice.
That seems like something I'd have to do. Damage Control Bailey, which she hasn't had a figure in like 20-something series. So by the time this comes out, it'll be like almost 30. Bronson Reed in the green. I have his. Remember, I got his Elite, and it's like the Bam Bam Bigelow looking gear. This is almost the exact same. It's just green.
Looks
but
good
that's
though.
Pretty nice.
Looks
though.
like him.
Looks good. Damian Priest from the Judgment Day in 109 as well. That was nice. Then there's I think I showed you this one, Elite 109 Shinsuke Nakamura in the updated gear with like the bodysuit and the black and white. That one looks really nice. And then there's the Chase in the black and red. Those look really nice. I really like those. I don't like the bodysuit, but I like that it's got the kick pads and whatever, so that'll be nice. There's Elite 110 Bruno Sammartino, which was supposed to be in the Legends Grace Hits line, but then they moved it for some reason. I don't know. Then there's Elite 110, I'll say it, Butch, which I actually do really like. It's in the white.
It looks good.
It's in the white Britain gear from Money in the Bank, so I really like that. It'll be updated technology, Pete Dunne. So I hate that it's Butch, but I'm gonna buy it, and then maybe I'll modify one just to make it not Butch. But I do like it. It's nice. It's got a cricket bat, which is kind of funny. So, but that one looks really nice. The colors on that are really nice. There's Pretty Deadly in blue, which is really nice. They both got interchangeable heads because they make weird faces and whatever.
Right.
But both of them look cool. It's not shown in the renders, but I think they'll have like probably cloth of their weird shirt things. I would almost argue you could just print that on though. You know what I mean? Like
you could because they wrestle in it.
Right, but like maybe the cloth would look cool. I don't know. Then there's Ultimate Cody, Ultimate 21 Cody from the time he didn't finish the story.
Right.
Then there was Ultimate Outsiders, both in like early gear. Nash is in the all red. They both come with WCW tag titles, interchangeable heads, Outsider shirt, NWO shirt, vests, the whole shebang. Then there's the Ultimate Nitro ring, which has an Ultimate Edition Eric Bischoff with it.
Great.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's those like super detailed rings where it's got like the actual wooden boards underneath.
Oh, really?
Well, not like wooden, but like
I know what you mean, but actual
like
boards.
Yeah, it's got like better ring aprons and whatever, and like I think fabric turnbuckles, so it's like the nice rings.
That's cool.
Then there's retro 4-packs of DX, which is like those old Hasbro style figures. I think Nate got a couple of those way back.
He did.
Not the Hasbro ones, but the one they remade them. Then there's Ultimate 20 Roman Reigns from the time where he finished the story, I guess. I don't know. It's Red Boot Roman with the new torso. See, like he doesn't have a belly button. Look how belly buttonless he is.
He is missing a belly button.
He doesn't have one. That bothers me. Then we got Cora Jade is shown. These are actual figures now.
Nice.
There's Cora Jade. Asuka,
with her kendo stick.
Yeah, Asuka, which some people are saying is one of their best figures ever because like that jacket's crazy.
That looks awesome.
And the mask is nice. And so it's update Asuka with the face paint. I really like the head actually with the face paint. That looks nice.
Really good.
I would consider getting that. And then they showed Otis from Alpha Academy as well. And then there's Finn Balor with the two masks. There's that one with like the flat one. And then he's got the spiky mask too. Remember when he wore that and he looked really dumb?
Yep.
There's that. So yeah, Judgment Day Balor. He looks like Ken has clown feet actually. I think that's about it.
Nice.
So finally something to talk about.
That was a lot.
Yeah, decent amount of stuff there.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to bring episode 174 to an end. Pretty beefy episode. We're at 216 now.
That's not horrible, I guess.
So here's hoping you all enjoy Full Gear tonight. If that is your plan to watch it, we'll definitely watch it. We'll talk about it.
At some point.
Definitely on 175, if not before. Seems to be we usually wait at this point now.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll be checking that out. Looking forward to some of the matches on there. Thanks for taking a little time out of your week to come listen to us ramble about wrestling. We appreciate it. We hope to see you back here for episode 175. And until then, everybody, take care.